I'm Marissa.
And I'm Joe, and this is Tales from Godric's Hollow. Hey, everybody! Welcome to our 300th episode celebration! I am Joe, the Dean of Tales from Godric's Hollow, and I am joined here by my co-host, the boss, Marissa.
Hi, guys.
Hello, hello, hello. Marissa, we did it.
We did it.
We made it.
Not sure how, but we did it.
Yes, we are here to celebrate the life and lies of Tales from Godric's Hollow.
What?
Actually, fun fact, going through the episodes, I found out that Josh had mislabeled 2 episodes and didn't give them numbers. So technically, this is episode 302. Sorry, everyone. Good night here from Tales.
Bye. We're done here. Oh, no.
I'm kidding. We're staying on. We're still celebrating 300 today, right now, with all of you. But not just with all of you. As I said last week, we have some special guests with us. First, I want to introduce to you Tales from Godric's Hollow community member, Lauren. Welcome, Lauren.
Hey, guys. Howdy.
Let's give you some applause here on the way in.
Yay, Lauren.
Awesome that you were able to join us, Lauren. Thank you so much.
I've been very excited. I can't wait.
It is going to be a doozy of a show, let me tell you.
Yes, it will.
And our next guest, it is the Grammy-nominated co-host of Podmoot, Kristen. Welcome in, Kristen.
Hey, y'all.
How you doing?
I'm doing
And
great. I am so excited to be here. I'm just going to apologize right now for anybody who's watching us. I'm going to turn my camera off because my internet is stinky, but I'm really glad to see y'all.
Well, we're happy to kind of see you a little bit, Kristen. Thank you so much for joining us. We're excited to have you on with us also.
I saw Kristen in person on Saturday.
Yes, I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Jealousy.
She's a wonderful person.
It was so fun.
It was.
And we had the ultimate pancakes versus waffles challenge.
Ooh.
Yeah, we did. Forgot about that. I was like, I was supposed to send Joe something, and that never happened. So
Who won that, by the way?
waffles, of course.
That's a lie.
Waffles are the ultimate winner, always.
Oh my gosh.
Waffles always win.
I'm outnumbered here. It ain't getting any better either. Our next guest, the one everyone has been waiting for. Nobody has seen his face ever. It is the one and only Atari Alex.
Hello. Pancakes for life.
Oh, he's with me. I didn't realize.
You still lose.
We've had this conversation how many times?
Well, I
and
thought
you
you were
don't
gonna come in
know.
with a
Too many times.
Honestly, yes.
I was expecting a hot take of French toast coming in here, but okay, I'll take.
Well, yeah, because I think I was about to say I thought that Alex came down on the French toast over everything else.
Yes,
camp.
yeah, but that's not what the conversation evolved into. It's just pancakes versus waffles.
You tried to make it into every breakfast food against each other, but we didn't take the bait.
I don't think that's true, but
yes, everyone's here. It's so great to have everyone on with us. It's so good to see so many people in the community on with us. We see all of your comments coming in here. it's hard to kind of keep track of the comments and then talk to my co-hosts here, but we'll try to take a peek at those and get some interaction with you guys, of course, throughout the show. This is why we're here. We're here to celebrate Tales from Godric's Hollow, 300 episodes. And all three of our guests here today have been a big part of the community of Tales for numerous years now. And I want to give them an opportunity to kind of share about themselves and a little bit about their, I call it a Wizarding World profile, so to speak. That way the community can kind of get to know them a little bit, kind of as much as me and Marissa already do. So, Lauren, I'll throw it to you first. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and your Harry Potter fandom, your house, your Patronus, favorite character, stuff like that.
All right. Well, I am a Hufflepuff, through and through, all the way. Puff Pride. My Patronus is a Chow dog. I'm not a fan of my Patronus. It's a dog, fine, but a Chow dog, not my fave.
I mean, I got a good squirrel, so not but
It is better than Squirrel. I will give that. My favorite character is Jenny. I just absolutely love her. She's wonderful. And my Harry Potter story, where I began my journey, was in 2002. I was in 7th grade, and my dad came home from Blockbuster Video with the VHS of the first movie.
There's a throwback.
Aging myself, but that's okay. And we watched it together, and the next day I was like, I want the book, because the next movie was coming out a week later. And so I was like, I need to know what happened next before I go see the next movie. So I got the second book, read 2, went to go see the movie, then went right into 3. And then I still, to this day, my cousin, who actually lives in Scotland now, I just saw him a couple weeks ago for the first time in a few years. And he's about 10 years older than me. And he was like, I still remember that Thanksgiving that you snuck away in the closet and read your Harry Potter book instead of participating with the family. And I was like, yeah, I haven't changed much. I still do that. I'll still just hide away and watch my Harry Potter stuff, listen to the podcast, or read the books and everything. So, as far as my relationship with Tales goes, I started in the very, very beginning, week 1 or 2, when they first started releasing, when Josh and Matt were going through the very first time. I didn't write in for a while. It took a few months for me to gather up my courage to write in. But from week 1, I was listening to the podcast the whole time.
So how did you find the podcast, though?
I was just getting into podcasts at that time, and I was just looking for, I listened to a couple of college football podcasts as well. So I was listening to some of those, and then I found a couple other podcasts, Harry Potter podcasts that shall not be named, because this is the best. But I wanted more, and I just searched Harry Potter podcast in Apple podcasting app and never looked back.
Wow,
Now it's the only one I listen to now. So,
Aw,
How sweet.
we can give some applause for that. Very good. Kristen, I'm going to throw to you now to share your wizarding profile, how Harry Potter came into your life, who's your favorite character, and all that fun stuff.
Hey, y'all. I'm going to do the best I can to speak slowly, and hopefully it won't buffer too much. I am also a Hufflepuff through and through. I came to Harry Potter actually found the second paperback on the shelf, and I was reading it while I was waiting for my son to get out of preschool. And one of the other preschool moms saw me and said, "Oh, what did you think about the first one?" And I was like, "First one? I didn't even know that this was not the first one." So I drove to this other mom's house and picked up the first book, finished it in one day, and then proceeded into the second book. My oldest was 4 at the time, and my second one was on the way. And my partner at the time and I just read everything that we could get our hands on. I found the podcast because I had a colleague who recommended it. And so that was about
Wow.
Probably the 9th or 10th episode. So they were not yet finished with the first book. And of course, I just binge listened to everything and then have kept up ever since. And I don't write in all the time, but every so often there's something that tickles my fancy. Some of you know that I also run my own podcast, which I found because of the boss and her podcast with my now co-host about Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. And so it's really thanks to this podcast that I now do my own. I think really my favorite character is Snape. And I just love how intricate and how much we love to hate him in some parts of the books. And then the ultimate sacrifice at the end. And I think that my love for Snape is only enhanced by the fabulous Alan Rickman's portrayal, but I think I would have loved the character anyway. And just like, what an arc for a character. What an incredible, just surprise after surprise after surprise that we get with Snape. So what else was I supposed
very
to talk
layered.
about?
I mean, that's good. I mean, do you know your Patronus? Did you
I can't
share that?
remember my Patronus.
Oh,
I can't remember what it is. I'm sorry.
all right. Well, the Patronus list, Kristen. Maybe you can't form a corporeal Patronus. Maybe it's only mist. Who knows?
Oh, come on, Joe. Don't you know me? Like, I have powers. I have a Patronus. I
Yes.
just can't remember what it is. And I don't want to get up and go get my phone and get on the app and all that right now. So I'll tell you later.
Kristen, don't let him get to you. He's doing it for a reason.
No.
This is all part of the fun.
I did send I did on a previous episode win a Phoenix wand from you guys, and I sent Joe a picture of me. I'm an opera conductor when I'm not on the show, and I conducted a rehearsal with the Phoenix wand. So we could call that my Patronus is an opera singer. I don't know.
All right. Now, Alex, this is your first official time on an actual episode of Tales. This has been probably 300 episodes coming now. I know you have been there from the very beginning, but if you could just real quickly share your wizarding profile and how you ended up finding Tales, because I believe you followed Josh here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So I'm a Ravenclaw, like Marissa. In fact, I'm so much of a Ravenclaw that my Patronus is the mighty eagle.
That's amazing. I have a dumb squirrel, so I'm super jealous.
Yeah, I don't know how I pulled that one off.
That's a
So
cool
good.
Patronus. I'm jealous.
My favorite character is Moody. I think he's really cool. Yes, as far as my relationship with Tales from Godric's Hollow, I knew Josh through the internet before all this started, from his other various podcasting adventures that are, as far as I know, all defunct now. Yeah, that was good times. And when they said, "Oh, we're doing a Harry Potter podcast," I was all in right away. And I haven't looked back.
Wow. And you were the first person to email in too, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or maybe didn't somebody beat you?
I'm not sure. I don't
We have to
re-listen
go
to the
back.
episodes. I haven't listened to the episodes since they came out. Because when they first started, they did that. They released a whole bunch of episodes like in the first 2 weeks. So I don't know if anyone could have like really gotten in
Then
on
did
the ground
anything.
level like that.
Right.
So I don't know who the very first person was, but I was definitely the first like consistent weekly emailer.
Alex, I'll start with you. Do you have a most memorable moment from Tales, something that just stands out above anything else? And then I'll throw to Lauren and Kristen after you.
Yeah, I absolutely do. When you texted me or tweeted me about what we were going to go over and you asked me this, like the very first thing that popped in my mind was when Josh predicted through the first read through that Snape was in love with Lily. I remember exactly where I was. I was driving from my wife's apartment to my apartment. I was taking the exit from 59 onto 610 because I lived right off the loop back then. And I was on this overpass, and Josh said something. Maybe I think he said something like Lily was supposed to be Mrs. Snape. I think was like his quote, something along those lines. And I just
that was so epic.
I was just screaming at my stereo, like, how did he guess this?
I had to pause it. I paused it because I was on the highway, and I was like, "How? How did this happen?" I was angry. I was angry and impressed at the same time.
Yeah. So that that moment will just always stick out in my mind.
That's definitely a good one to have. I remember just dying, laughing hysterically, and just thinking, no way he just said that. Like, what the heck are the odds that he said that?
I think almost as impressive as that Matt didn't just implode.
I mean, that's what I was about to say. Yeah, Matt just kind of was like, sure, cool, whatever.
I think we talked about it at one point, and he said that he muted himself because they weren't on video; they were just on audio. I think he said he muted himself. Just went, how?
So I would have thrown my computer across the room. So props to him
for sure.
All right, Lauren, I'll throw to you.
So mine's a little more melancholy. I just remember Sirius's death and that just being a huge moment for just in general. Like Josh was just so sad. And I was like, I remember being this sad the first time. And it was just, it was such a great moment. And then it was just, I could feel his passion and his sadness. And it was just a reminder of what it was like first reading it. And so it's not as happy of a moment, but I still remember it. He was so upset and distraught.
Mm-hmm. And Joe thought it was hilarious.
Oh yeah, I love those moments. Those were some of my favorite moments in Tales. When I knew there was a big death coming up, I was like, ooh, baby. Like I was rubbing my hands together. I could not wait to get Josh's reaction. And I would keep going back to Twitter to see if he would tweet something ominous or something, just to catch a hint of if he's gotten to it yet or not.
That's also the episode, Lauren, where there was almost spoilers.
Yes, there was. I remember that too because I went, no.
So uncomfortable. I remember where I was at that moment too, and I heard that I was like, oh no. It was terrible. Yeah. It was terrifying.
I was like, no.
And there was just silence, and you're like, oh no, what happened? But no reaction from Josh whatsoever. He was
nothing.
In his
feels. He was so in his feels that he wasn't even really listening to what Matt was saying.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Matt pausing and just being like, "What?
Wait, what? What did I just read?" Terrible.
I don't know how you recover from that. Thankfully, Josh just wasn't paying
He,
attention.
he just
It
wasn't listening.
right over his head. In his feels. Okay, Kristen, you're
Well,
up.
that was actually going to be my moment, was the almost spoilage. But I also, this is not really a moment, it's more like a theme. I did not understand the defense of Rita Skeeter. Like, what was that even about?
Oh, yeah.
Every time Josh would just go on and on and on about Rita Skeeter is misunderstood. And I was just like, nope, she's terrible. Rita Skeeter is terrible. And then also the whole thing about like Crookshanks and Animagus, and I don't even know what all that was. Like that, all of those kind of tangential storylines were really funny to listen to, but also they just irritated me so much. So I was really glad when finally Josh had to be like, no, actually Rita Skeeter is just kind of terrible. Like she's just terrible.
It took him a long time to come to the right conclusion, but he eventually got there.
Yeah, I think the most memorable stuff is probably the most controversial stuff. I mean, I don't know what anyone
I
else
agree with you.
but that's the stuff that sticks out to me.
Like, just because you like drama, Joe.
I mean, I loved coming up with the truth or lies question.
Yeah, I know. We all know.
That was so much fun to try to stir the pot between you and Josh and just try to get you to agree to things that you would never normally agree to.
You might have got me one or two times agreeing to things I wouldn't normally agree to, but didn't often happen. I rejected a lot of things on principle.
You still do
as
that.
people will know. I need a shirt that just says, I rejected on principle. That's what I need.
It should say, I reject you on principle.
I reject your existence on principle. Exactly.
Oh, man. I remember things have got so heated, and it was never personal on the show.
No.
But some of the people listening didn't really understand it, and we would get emails into
they were worried
about.
They were worried that something was going to happen.
Joe and Marissa, like they seem really upset with each other. It just there was one person. I doubt she's still listening, and especially after me and Marissa took over the show. But she
didn't just like us fighting.
Yeah, it just makes for awkward shows. Like they were going off on how bad it was that me and Marissa were just kind of fighting, but it was always all in good fun.
Oh yeah.
I think it's fun because I try and debate through my like car speaker at you guys when y'all are going at it. I'm like, I'm just gonna debate with myself and talk to them.
They can't hear me, but I can hear me. So
yeah.
It's fine.
Am I Team Marissa on this or Team Joe on this? And it's about a 50-50 split, to be honest.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Interesting.
I'll take that. That's a win for me. So, Marissa, I think I don't remember how you found the show. Like first found the show.
I had just when the show started, I didn't find it until I think they were in book 3, but I had started a job. I was driving an hour one way every day, 5 days a week. Oh. So I needed something to fill my time, and I had just started finding podcasts. So I had a couple of, fake Harry Potter podcasts that I had on, and then I just found Tales, and I downloaded a couple of the episodes of each of these, fake Harry Potter podcasts than Tales. And Tales was one that just stuck. I think I ended up picking 3. But there were a couple I had to throw out because I didn't like the flow of the show. But Tales was one of the ones that stuck.
You rejected it on principle?
I did reject it on principle, yes. And my first email into the show did not get read on the podcast, but it was when I got to the episode where he predicted that Lily was supposed to be Mrs. Snape. I was like, you don't have to read this because I'm not writing anything, but I go, that just shocked me to my core. So
right.
It's just by happenstance that I found the podcast.
Yeah, I remember when I first went looking for tales, and not necessarily specifically tales, but just more Harry Potter content. It was at a time in my life, and I don't know how many people know this, but I used to be very involved in professional wrestling. I used to be a wrestler, and injuries had kind of set me back a little bit. So I was slowing down, and it was as wrestling was slowing down that my interest in Potter started to peak a little bit more, and I wanted to know more and more about the story. So the transition in my life was a lot of focus on pro wrestling, and then as that dwindled, more and more of my focus came on to Potter. And as I read through the books, I just wanted more content. I wanted more discussion. I wanted to understand some things a lot more because, hashtag wand lore, hashtag horcruxes. Like, there were a couple of things that I was still not understanding.
Hashtag magic in general.
Yeah, and I had found tales, and I had listened to an episode, and I was just like, I can't. It's kind of what I did. It was just like 2 hours on 2 chapters. I'm like, there is no way that I can stay with it. And this might have been like at the very beginning of Chamber of Secrets.
I think that's when it started to pick up in length.
So I was just like, I'm going to push that off. And I started doing a little bit of my own research and found some other podcasts. And then like a few weeks later, I was like, I wonder what's going on with that other podcast. And I went back to Tales. And I picked it up from there. And it was from that moment, it was probably at the end of Chamber of Secrets at that point. Because my first email into the show, I think, was the movie episode of Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah, I don't remember specifically which episode it was that I emailed in on first.
Yeah, and then once they started Prisoner of Azkaban, I started reading again through the series with them and taking part of the email section, as we all have in the past.
Wrestler Joe, that's what they called you.
Yes, actually, my first email, I put Wrestler Joe, but Matt didn't say the wrestler part. I didn't think he wanted. Yeah, I didn't think he wanted everyone to start like naming themselves, so he just said Joe.
Yeah.
But then I think Josh had mentioned me at some point, or called me Wrestler Joe. And from that point on, Matt started saying it.
Yeah.
And that was funny. Anywho, as I said before, we are all here for the same reason, and that's to celebrate this show that has brought so many of us together. And we certainly wouldn't be here today without two very important people whom you've already heard a ton about. And if there were a thing, they'd be inducted into the Tales from Godric's Hollow Hall of Fame, and that is both Josh and Matt. Them taking us through that first read through for Josh and us being able to be along for that ride. Even to this day, I can't really wrap my head around how so many people kind of gathered around that, and like we're almost like rooting Josh on to keep going and finish the series. Like, I've never really seen that anywhere else. It was really awesome to be a part of. So I wanted to definitely shout out Josh and Matt. We love you. Thank you so much for starting this thing. Thank you for entrusting me and Marissa with your baby. And I'm glad we've grown it to at least a toddler right now. I think. We'll see. But that's not all, because we actually have some words from Matt and Josh via email. So I'm first going to read a little message from Matt. Dear Joe, Marissa, and the entire Tales family. Back when Josh and I started Tales from Godric's Hollow in 2016, I had no clue what it would become. I was simply trying to get a friend to read Harry Potter. And it worked. I accomplished my goal, but the show kept going. The community had been built, and you weren't ready to let the show die. With Marissa and Joe joining the show, there was new life. And now, believe it or not, they have been hosting the show for more episodes than I have. And I just recently came to that conclusion myself, too, when kind of thinking
I think
about
we talked about that on the recent episode.
I was just like,
or maybe it was off of the recording, but I think we mentioned it.
yeah,
We still felt like new hosts.
Right.
That's what it was. And then we were like, actually, we've been on for quite a while.
Definitely. Congratulations on making it to episode 300, and God's blessings on whatever may come next. Sincerely, the Professor. Thank you, Matthew, for your words. And up next, not to be outdone, everyone's favorite Muggle, Josh Brown. What's up, everybody? Hi, it's me, Josh Brown. Some may know me as the Muggle of Tales from Godric's Hollow. Some may have no clue who I am at this point. Oh, stop. Either way, hello to everyone, Joe and Marissa, the community, everyone. It's been a long time since I've been part of this show. Maybe not that long in the grand scheme of things, but it's definitely been a while. I was going to try and record something for this episode, or maybe even try to drop in live, but alas, this email was the best I could do. My world is quite busy these days, which isn't a bad thing, but it makes extracurricular activities difficult to manage sometimes. Anyway, yeah, this show, 300 episodes. That's great. Glad that the two wonderful hosts are still steering this ship to bigger and better things. Can't say I ever imagined the show lasting this long, but when I stepped away and allowed for new creative ideas to flourish and craft the show around, I realized the limitations were only because of me and me alone. Oh, stop, Josh. This is a weird email to write, to be honest. As some may know, my relationship with the Harry Potter franchise is pretty much in limbo. In recent years, it's become increasingly clear that the creator of the series isn't as great as the fans prop her up to be. In fact, she's pretty awful, in my opinion. Specifically for her very outward and public views and stances on trans rights. It's upsetting and disturbing and emotionally draining to see someone so revered and loved completely dig their heels in on a topic that is painful to so many people around the globe. As someone with the platform that she does, her words and opinions are dangerous on a level that most don't realize or care about, which might be even worse. It's impossible for me at this point in my life to celebrate the creation of a person who is so morally blind to problematic behavior. Honestly, my only wish is that she would just sell the IP completely, much like George Lucas in Star Wars, so that myself and so many other people could try to enjoy the franchise once again without feeling guilt or shame for lining her pockets even more. Trans rights are human rights. End of story. So yeah, I'll get off my soapbox now. I'm sure the show is better off without me dragging it down even further. Dean, keep kicking butt in everything you do. I have front row tickets reserved for when the time comes. Boss, congrats on everything, and I can't wait for you to be the best mom you can be. And Alex, well, you already know. Muggle out. Josh. P.S. Pancakes still suck.
He's not
I
wrong.
had to throw that last dig in there, huh, Josh? Had to do it.
He knows.
Well, thank you, Josh, for that. So, what we currently do here on the show, our segments and all that stuff, we're just kind of throwing it all to the wind for this show. We're going to have a lot of fun on this show. Some fun has already been had. So, for news that you can use, I'm going to keep it kind of simple here. And I'm going to talk some Tales of the Tape for Tales from Godric's Hollow. Some stats, some fun facts. Get ready for this. Over 786 hours and 40 minutes of content from Tales from Godric's Hollow, which is about 33 straight days.
Dang, that is some impressive stuff.
With no break. There have been over 821,214 downloads, in over 172 different countries around the world.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't realize my voice went that far. Holy smokes.
It's really exciting.
So I want to pause right here because I was able to get like the top 12 or top 10 rather countries who have downloaded Tales from Godric's Hollow. And I want to give the top 4 out. And then I'll share a little something with you. So the top one obviously was the United States of America, coming in at number 1 with the most downloads. Number 2, the UK. Number 3, Australia. Thank you, Mel.
Yeah.
Number 4, Canada. So we've hit the big ones. Now, from 5 through 10, and I think here is where I want to give our first giveaway away. Oh, yes. So if you can name anyone that's in the chat right now is watching us live, first person to name me a country that is in our top 10 from 5 through 10
I will give you a hint.
win the prize.
I will give you a hint. It's not Lithuania. So I tried that. It's not on there. So that's a freebie for me to you, in case that's where your head went.
So in the chat, just okay, wait, hang on. We have Ellen in the chat who has said Germany, and that is actually correct.
Woohoo!
Germany is number 5
Oh, look at that.
Oh, wow.
on our country's list. So, Ellen, you have our email address. I know that talesfromgodric's@gmail.com for those of you watching. If you don't, but Ellen, just send us an email. Say, hey, I want to give away, and we will send something very special out to you. All right. So since Ellen got number 5, number 6 was Sweden. 7 was the Netherlands. 8 was India. 9 was Denmark. 10 was France.
Oh, wow. That's really exciting.
Like, wow, well, that's pretty cool. All right. I'll throw this to you guys now. Our most downloaded episode. Anyone have any guesses for our most downloaded episode?
There's 300 of them.
Apparently 301. So
And I will say this. I took out the prologue and episode 1 because generally anyone who's checking out the podcast is going to start at episode 1.
right.
Episode 1 numbers were higher than the one I'm about to share, but this is like the first real episode that is the highest. Any guesses?
Is it 200?
The 200th episode celebration? No, it's not. Going once, going twice. Okay, I'll tell you. It is episode 109, which was the Snape episode. Snape, Severus Snape.
Oh, okay.
This was the majorly hyped episode. I remember Matt was saying how Snape was his favorite character, but he was never able to share with Josh why.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said they would save that for a later episode. And that was this episode. And I think on the show, Matt was like, yeah, I think this might be a little bit of a letdown, but like, this is why I like Snape. And it was just funny how it ended up playing out. But yep, the Snape episode was the most downloaded episode ever. From the Joe and Marissa era, the most downloaded episode. Number 197, which was a Harry Potter musical.
Oh, yay.
That is our top episode.
I love that. I love a Harry Potter musical.
And then our last fun fact here with Tales. The longest episode.
Oh, that has to be Sirius's death one, right? That one was long.
That wasn't very long.
Nope, not serious.
That's not the longest one though.
Yeah, there was one that was like 4 hours long, right?
It was almost 5, I think.
There was
There
a
wa-
few that were over 4 hours long,
Oh
and
my
Marissa's
gosh.
right about the one being
There
close
was-
to 5.
Is it like the finale, like the final chapters of book 7?
No, surprisingly not.
Is it Dobby's death?
Nope.
Dang it. I have no idea then.
It was the Dumbledore's death episode.
Oh, I almost said that. Darn.
That was number
Oh.
82. 4 hours and 49 minutes long.
I was gonna say 45 minutes. 4 hours and 45 minutes. Yeah, it was long. I downloaded it that episode and I was like, what could they possibly have talked about?
I was so excited. I remember seeing how long it was and being like, yes,
Something happens.
So
There's some
much.
feels in this episode.
And then that's when I was like, yes, Josh is going to be crying for about 2 hours on this show.
So evil sometimes.
Joe, you're the worst.
Secret Slytherin over there.
That's for real
Maybe
though.
a little bit, maybe. Anywho, those are our Fun Tales facts that I pulled. Now to our last piece of news that you can use. We're going to talk about Marissa's maternity leave.
Yes.
Oh, another tough subject here. But I want to announce to everybody, we will be having a farewell for now show for the boss on episode 306. So in 6 episodes, which will be the final week of July. That will be Marissa's going away episode. And it also ends up being our 6th anniversary show.
Hey.
So get ready for another big show in a couple weeks, guys. Let's go. So Marissa will be leaving us for a time undetermined at this moment. But
To be determined. I don't even know how long I'm going to be gone for, guys.
right, yeah. I'm thinking at least 3 to 4 months, if not more.
Oh yeah, easily 3 months. We'll see though.
Yeah, and I know that's even pushing it. So with Marissa gone from the show, obviously you're not going to want me to just speak to you guys about all this random stuff in Harry Potter. That would be boring to you all, I'm sure. There needs to be somebody for me to fight with on this show. And that's where this next announcement comes in. So as far as her replacement is concerned, well, let me just say that there's a very specific reason I've asked these guests to be on this show. And that's because you're going to be hearing a lot more from them in the future. So I hope you like Atari, Alex, and Lauren, because they'll be filling in for Marissa when Marissa goes on leave, but as well as Kristen, who'll be making the occasional appearance. And then, of course, Brent will be jumping on with us here and there. I'm sure Matt will come back with us here and there, and a few of the others. But Alex, Lauren, welcome to the family.
Very excited.
That's why we wanted to give you guys an opportunity to get to meet and hear Alex and Lauren on this show and just get accustomed to their voices. Because, yes, you'll be hearing a lot more of them. Muhahaha. More Alex.
I'm sorry, and you're welcome.
Well played.
There you go. I want to take this this time right here to remind you of our June giveaway. This is open to everybody, and this is for a Phoenix wand. Yes, a Phoenix wand. I got it from the flagship store in the city. I've given one of these away before. I believe Kristen won it. She had said that she did a little opera practice with it. So, Kristen, how awesome is that wand?
I have to say it's really awesome. And the detail is incredible, like the way that it's carved and it has all these different colors in the wood. Like, I mean, I really didn't know what to expect, but it is really beautiful. And I keep it in my office at the university, and my students love it too. So yeah, yeah, y'all get your entries in because it's going to be awesome.
So if you're on Patreon supporting us already, first off, thank you. Like, you're one of the reasons why we've made it this far also. So applause to you guys real quick. But you guys are already entered in to win this giveaway. For those of you who are not on Patreon, shame on you. No, I'm joking. But if you would like to enter this giveaway, all you have to do is send in an email to talesfromgodric's@gmail.com with your favorite piece of Wizarding World merchandise that you own, whether it be a collectible item or maybe something you picked up at a store, something you won. It could be this upcoming wand, maybe. Who knows? So that's all you got to do. Send us in an email and you'll be entered in to win. Now, speaking of giveaways, I want to do another giveaway right now. We've already given one thing away. I'm about to give something else away, and it's actually the same thing. And I want to shout out and give a special thank you to Katie, the candy-loving Slytherin. From those of you who remember her from our emails, I had kind of sent her a couple of emails, and we went back and forth. And since she owns a candy shop that's similar to Honeyduke's, I gave her a task, and I asked her to put together her very own Wizarding World snack box, almost like a skiving snack box. So,
not.
Well, with good stuff, not stuff that'll make you throw up, like Fred and George would. So, Ellen, you'll be getting one of those snack boxes, and I want to give another one of them away right now. And I remember Josh used to do this, so I'm going to steal another thing from him. And a number 1 through 100. I have a number here. So the first person to come, well, to either guess the number or the person who comes the closest to the number will be the winner of this prize. So any number 1 through 100, I picked one. Sorry, Kate, you cannot enter to win your own giveaway. Well, kind of your own giveaway.
Sad day.
But we do appreciate you putting that together. So for those of you joining live, send out your numbers. And I'll be able to tell you who won. And unfortunately, Ellen, you can't win twice. So I appreciate you in your number. Harsh. I mean, 2 candy snack boxes.
I mean, I would eat 2 candy snack boxes. Let's be real.
You would. So I'll tell you a little bit about her shop. The company's called Lolly and Pops. They have 60 locations nationwide. And her particular location
I love Lolly and Pops. I'm sorry.
Oh, so you've heard of Lolly and Pops?
Yes.
Awesome. So the one that Kate runs is in Alpharetta, Georgia. The website is lollyandpops.com, and they have an amazing selection of candy from all over the world, as well as candies first introduced in the 1920s. They're also introducing new candies all the time, so check them out for all your snacking needs. Again, lollyandpops.com, or search for your local Lolly and Pops. All right, so numbers are in. Kate, you put it together. I don't know if I can give you that. Ellen, you know the deal there. So I guess by default, it has to go to Brent. 73. Congratulations, Brent.
Winning by default.
Candy.
Brent, I'm a little bit disappointed that you did not pick number 47.
Why the number 47?
Well, it's a significant Star Trek number, and he runs a Star Trek podcast. So,
of course.
It was just blank faces over here. I had no idea.
I was like, I have
oh.
no idea what just happened.
Brent, just send us in an email with your address, and I'll make sure Kate gets that to you. The number, by the way, was 38, so not really all that close, Brent. But again, you won by default. So,
Ouch.
moving on, we'll go into something new that we're doing for this specific episode. It's our Wizarding World Cooking Challenge. Oh yeah, I've tasked the hosts on with me today to create something. I have sent it out to the people in the community, and we've gotten a few responses in, so we'll read those as well. But I guess I'll start first with the Wizarding World Cooking Challenge. I think everyone's first thought when you think of something from the Wizarding World that would be tasty, that you would want to try, like butterbeer, I think is at the top of the list. Am I right? So I didn't
want
to do a traditional butterbeer, and I had actually come across a recipe for some butterbeer cookies about a month ago, and I had saved it. And I'm just like, I got to try these one time, and I made them today, and they came out actually really good. I don't know if that's going to come out on the video there. I posted a picture on the Twitter as well, but I will say this though. The dough to this cookie is very different than any other dough to a cookie I've ever created.
Oh yeah? How
Yeah.
so?
It was kind of like Play-Doh rather than like, I guess more, sorry for this word, moist or like sticky.
So you did not just use that word. You
How
just
dare you.
did not use that word.
Now we have to put
Say what I want.
now we have to put an explicit rating on our podcast. How dare you?
I should bleep out the word, and everyone's gonna be wondering, like, what just happened?
Oh man.
Yeah, so it was like Play-Doh, and when I added because it calls for butterscotch chips and white chocolate. Yeah, oh my gosh, the hot butterbeer, Matt. You are absolutely right.
I've never had it. I want it.
You gotta try the
Lauren,
hot butterbeer.
You have to do something.
I know. I've got to get to the Wizarding World in the months that they sell it.
I have said this many a time, and I'll say it again. It's hot butterbeer or no butterbeer, in my opinion.
Actually, Brent took a video of me trying hot butterbeer for the very first time. I still have that video. I don't think I've ever posted it,
I don't
but I'll
think
make
so.
sure to post it this week for those of you who want to see that. But it was wow. Anyway, these cookies taste like the foam to the butterbeer. If you can imagine what that tastes like. Delicious. I came off the original story that I was telling though. So I added the chips to this dough, right? And I'm trying to fold the chips into the cookie dough, but it was almost like the dough was rejecting them. It wouldn't like take them in and stick into the cookie.
They rejected it on principle.
Exactly. So it was a little tough getting the chips in the cookie, so I had to really like press them in there. But all in all, they came out really good. Yeah, they didn't flatten out like some cookies do. They stayed like kind of big and puffy.
Mm-hmm.
So it has a nice texture to them. Very good. I know, Lauren, you made a few things, right?
I did. I made a couple things. I went with the butterbeer as well, but I did butterbeer fudge, which I'm not a huge fudge maker, so this was only like the second fudge I've ever made. It's pretty good. I think I got the heat too hot before I poured in the chips, so
Oh no.
it's not as like smooth as you would want fudge to be. It's more grainy, but it tastes good. So it's, I mean, is what it is.
Hey,
And-
if it tastes good, that's all that matters, I think.
Yeah,
True.
yeah, it's fine. But I have way too much of it, and my
Oh my
husband, yes, I know. and we don't eat sweet. We don't eat stuff like this. Like, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with it because it's also summer vacation, so I don't work. Like,
We're gonna do another giveaway right now.
okay, so for Butterbeer fudge,
Oh man.
yeah. So I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with all of it. I am going to see my parents and Katie tomorrow, so maybe I'll bring it to my little siblings and they can eat it, and
All right.
they can go to town with that.
I'm sure.
And then my second thing was I made Amortencha. It's really just a rosé sangria, but it's Amortencha because it's pink.
I see what you did there.
But it's delicious. It's very good.
I bet it is. I wish I had some.
I'm going to try this with my camera on. I made basically a combination of Amortencha and butterbeer. This is a bourbon cocktail with butterscotch, made with butterscotch coffee syrup. So it's like the stuff that you, when you go to Starbucks and you order, it's the same kind of stuff, but it's basically bourbon and soda with butterscotch flavoring. So, but it does make me very happy. So it's my version of Amortencha butterbeer.
It's a happy potion. There we go.
Podcast Felicis. Also, Joe, I will have you know, I went over and I got my phone and I opened up my Wizarding World app, and sure enough, my Patronus is a calico cat.
Oh, okay. I don't know what that is.
Who knew?
It's a cat.
Honestly, I was thinking about one of those cats from that terrible movie Cats, but I think that's like a Jellicoe cat.
Isn't calico like orange and brown and white or black and white?
Yes,
or
it's
something?
multicolored,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all female. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but that's what I've been told.
On today's Did You Know?
Right.
All right,
Alex, what'd you make?
Yeah, share what you made.
Well, I don't have a visual aid, but I tweeted out my pictures, so you can just look on Twitter. So I also made butterbeer. I've only been to the Wizarding World once, and it was when I was in high school. So like, I don't really remember what the real thing tastes like. So I just got some A&W cream soda and some like ice cream butterscotch topping. And then you do that. And I was trying to make the frozen version. It's supposed to be like slushy, but I either did it wrong or I didn't shake it hard or long enough because it was definitely just liquid. So it tasted fine. Oh, and then I made homemade whipped cream topping, which is just cream and more butterscotch blended together in the mixer. It was fine. I'm sure it tastes better like the real deal, but it was good. I wanted to make the frozen version because it's hella hot outside. I could not. I wasn't about to try and make the hot version, but it was refreshing. I watched Jurassic World while I was drinking it, and it was a good time. And then today I tried and failed at making Treacle Tart.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so shout out to the Castle Vault where we got this idea from. You know, they do their cooking challenges every week, and so I've been doing as many of those as I can, and a lot of them involve baking. So I'm not like the world's best baker by any means, but like I have a little bit of experience under my belt. So I read the recipe in the unofficial cookbook, which I won from this show way back. So I read the recipe and it's like, okay, this seems pretty straightforward. I think it should be fine. So I made the dough last night and I left it in the fridge all day. And then I went to go roll it out and it was extremely uncooperative. I like just could not get it to roll out. It kept breaking or like got too, I think it like got too soft too fast.
It's like Alex was on the Great British Bake Off and it's so hot in the tent that the dough is just melting before his eyes.
Yeah, something like that. So eventually I just smushed it into the pan, like by hand, basically. So
like
I don't know what yeah, I don't know what it looks like at the moment.
That's how I made my cookies, to be honest.
And then the filling, I don't know if I don't know if treacle is a real thing, or if it's a wizard thing, or if it's a British thing.
I think treacle is a real thing. It might be a British thing.
Okay,
It's
so
molasses. It's the British name
okay.
for molasses.
Oh, all right. So what the way the recipe calls for is you take bread, like you cut up some bread into little crumbs, and then put that in a bowl, and then pour hot corn syrup and lemon juice and lemon zest. So I did that, and then that went fine. And then the last step is to take more dough and cut it into strips, and then put a lattice on top of the tart. And again, I was having problems with the dough, so I got one nice strip in there, and then one like kind of okay strip. And then I just kind of went like this with some dough and made like a tubey shape and just threw it on there and said, you know what, forget it. This is not worth it. And then it came out, and it tasted fine. It was not bad. It was not good. It was something that I ate. It was really sticky in my teeth. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with the rest of it, because my wife will not eat it because she's a really picky eater. I cannot eat the rest of it myself. So just got a bunch of weird pie.
You weren't the only one that had trouble with Treacle Tart, Alex. We'll get to that
Okay.
in a little bit. Marissa, why don't you share what you made?
Okay, so I don't know how many people on the podcast that have listened to this, or the people in real life that know this, but I am a master procrastinator. I don't do things until they are practically due. So today, before I made dinner, I made rock cakes. Famous from Hagrid's house, where they break their teeth on them. These are much better. They're actually edible. It's kind of like just a lumpy chocolate chip cookie, but it was labeled as rock cakes on the internet, so I made them. It's pretty good though. My husband liked them, so that's all it really mattered. They're pretty good.
Anything else inside them that is just not normally a chocolate chip cookie-ish?
Pumpkin pie spice.
Okay.
Just a little bit of that, because I didn't have mixed spice, which the recipe called for. But I think the person was also like in the UK, because they wrote in they wanted you to measure it out with a weight, like a scale in ounces and not by cups. So that was an interesting. I had to look up some conversions and stuff. But yeah, they were pretty good. I made 20 of them, which is a lot, and we're probably not going to eat them all, but they are pretty good.
You can freeze them and then pull them out later, and they could maybe be real rock cakes at that point.
Right. I'll just break my teeth on them. It'll be fine. But they're pretty good. So good.
So we had a few entries that had come in via social media and emails. First one I will share is from Pearl. Now, Pearl writes in that her mom and she baked some delicious Harry Potter themed pastry snacks. There are 2 cheese-filled wands coated with Vegemite, 1 plain Crookshank's face, which actually looks hilarious as a pastry, 2 cheese-filled snitches, 1 has Vegemite on it as well, a pair of glasses, and a lightning bolt filled with jam. She adds that they were so good. So good job, Pearl, and Mom, of course.
I'm not a huge Vegemite fan, but everything else sounded good.
Yeah, me and Pearl had a discussion about Vegemite.
I bet you did.
I would never. That's all.
You won't even try it? I tried it and I didn't like it.
No, I already know I'm not going to like it, so I'm not even going to waste my time.
You guys have to put up with this. He just likes to just say things and assume that they're true. I tried. Okay, the thing is, sorry, tangent on Vegemite for just 1 second. A lot of people do it wrong. you can't just take a spoonful of Vegemite and eat it because that's disgusting. You have to put it on toast with butter to kind of cut it some, but I still didn't like it, but at least I tried it while I was over in Australia.
I've never heard anyone that wasn't Australian say that they like Vegemite, so I think I think it's just in their DNA or something.
Yes.
Perhaps. So Katie had sent this in on Twitter, and she took a shot at Alex here also. And she says, in honor of Atari Alex, I have Slytherin-themed mac and cheese. So green mac and cheese, just for Alex. Butterbeer from Lolly and Pops, and a British pie that she got from the unofficial Harry Potter cookbook. And she put steak in instead of chicken. So she said everything came out very good. So thank you, Kate, for sending that in. We also have Dane, who had taken the challenge, and Alex, you'll feel his pain. Howdy, y'all. So this is supposed to be a Treacle Tart, because I know I was not the only one who thought Treacle Tart was a magical creation until I learned later it is an actual dessert in the Muggle UK. I didn't have a tart dish or treacle, so I had to cobble things together. So it's more of a corn syrup pie, but it still counts.
I made this thing, but I didn't have the ingredients to make the thing, so I made it different.
P.S. I had to fight a power outage and my own poor time management to make this happen. Update from Dane. Taste-wise, it is disappointing. Not sure how this is Harry's favorite dessert, probably because you used corn syrup instead of like what you were supposed to make. That probably had a little something to do with it.
He actually eats molasses in it, not corn syrup.
My wife and I thought it would be overly lemony. You use 2 whole lemons worth of juice, or at the very least sweet. You use an entire 16-ounce container of syrup. But neither of those are true.
Oh, no.
It just tastes like it walked near a lemon and it sticks to your teeth like toffee.
I love that. That's what people say a lot about
a lemon.
Right. Like a lot of people will say about like LaCroix or like hard seltzers that have like quote unquote real natural flavor. It's like, it sounds like someone shouted the name of a fruit in the next room, and that's about as close as it got.
Chalk an L up for this attempt, for sure. Anywho, thank you, Dane, and thank you, everybody who participated in that Wizarding World cooking challenge. That was a lot of fun, and maybe we'll bring that back on another in another 100 episodes.
In another 300 episodes, we'll bring it back. No worries.
All right. Who's ready to have some fun?
You know I was born ready for fun, Joe.
All right. Well, we're going to play a little game. Are y'all ready?
Of course.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's go.
It's time to play Guess That Scene. For this game, I'm going to play audio of a scene from one of the movies. And what you guys have to do is tell me what scene it is and from which movie. So, the first thing I will share with you is the first thing that you say will be counted as your answer. So, watch your mouth.
Dang it.
Wow.
Yes, if you say, I don't know, the troll scene happened in and wrong. You're out.
Wow.
He's only saying that because he's not participating. He can't get any points.
Exactly.
I created this game. I do what I want.
We play it my way.
This is true.
It's like the kid that brought the ball to the park. We'll play whatever game I want to play, how I want to play it.
Feel free to play along at home as well. And those of you watching online currently. Contestants, any questions on how this is supposed to go?
So do we just say the answer if we know it?
Do we buzz?
Is there?
There are no
Raise our
buttons.
hand?
So this is why I needed your video on.
Ah.
The first person who I see like raise their hand is the one who's going to get the first guess. Get it right, I'll give you a point. Get it wrong, you will hear probably this sound.
Wah, wah. I have a question.
Sure, Marissa.
Do we have to wait until the complete clip is over, or can we start waving our hands in the middle of it if we know
I'm
it?
glad you asked that question. It is the second you know what scene it is and from
Okay.
which movie, you can raise your hand.
Okay. I always like to have the rules laid out so that I know what's going on.
So we just describe the scene and then what movie it's in.
Yep.
More or less.
You don't have to go into like great detail about the scene. Just
They were standing in this order
no
for this many seconds.
that crazy. Just what scene is it and from what movie, and you're golden. Are we ready for number one?
All right, let's
Yes.
go.
All right, good.
I guess so.
You have no choice. We're playing this game. Yeah.
Okay. I figured we couldn't reject it, so
Okay. Here we go. Number one.
It was delicious, Molly, really. Are you sure you won't stay? No, we should go.
Boss.
that is the scene where Tonks and Remus are leaving the burrow in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince before the burrow gets burned down.
My favorite scene.
Yeah.
Favorite
Correct.
scene? Favorite scene?
No,
He
that's not-
loves that they burn down the burrow for no reason.
I know, but favorite?
We've had this argument, Lauren, so it's not worth it.
It's not my favorite scene, no. But I do enjoy that scene, and
It's top
I
five,
figured
I'm
it'd be a
sure.
great way to start out this segment. This fun
You're
little
worse,
game
Joe.
that we're playing.
How many of these are there?
Oh, there's about a few 16.
A few 16. Okay.
16.
Here we go. Number 2.
Sorry.
Alex.
It's the scene where Harry blows up Aunt Marge in Prisoner of Azkaban.
That is correct.
Good
That
job.
ain't coming out right. I'm going to switch to this one. There we go.
I like that.
There.
That's better.
Yes, Aunt Marge getting blown up for the win. Because we all love that. Alrighty. Number 3.
Good luck, Potter. Thank you, sir.
Lauren.
Dueling Club, Chamber of Secrets.
Correct. Oh, yeah. All right. We're spreading it out here. Spreading out the love. Okay. I thought some of these would be. I will say some are longer, some are short. We have a good mix of things happening with this. All right. Let's go to number 4.
Now listen to me. I want you to take the others and get out of here. What?
Lauren.
Department of Mysteries battle in Order of the Phoenix.
That is correct. Let's see how it plays out.
You've done beautifully. Now let me take it from here.
We're
I'll take it from here. No, that's the same.
continuing.
Yeah, it was. I would continue the
Oh.
scene. I said, let's see how it plays out.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. I didn't understand.
That's all right. We're just going on a whim
I wasn't
here.
paying attention apparently enough. So it's fine. I was like, it's the same scene. What?
It is the second after the Battle of the...
Just before Sirius dies.
All right, here we go. Number 5.
Oh, bloody hell.
Lauren.
I just rewatched the movies. I'm sorry.
Oh, you cheat.
That was when Lavender was coming up to Ron and during Half-Blood Prince.
No. Oh, wait, hang
Well,
on.
it's Ron.
Yeah, it's Ron because he's the only one that says bloody hell ever, but it's so generic.
It is.
Let's keep the scene going.
Okay.
Slim Gill.
So they're only holding hands.
Lauren, you're out.
And
So, Marissa.
That is the scene where Dean and Ginny are in the 3 broomsticks in Hogsmeade in when was she dating Dean?
Uh-oh.
Or Order of the Fiend. No.
And
I know exactly what yeah.
all right, down to, oh wait, Kristen's got her hand up. Let's go to Kristen now.
You're welcome, Kristen.
It's what Marissa just said, except it's in Half-Blood Prince.
Winner.
Yep.
It's all good,
The
Marissa.
sad thing is, I almost said the wrong movie again. So
So okay. So I was like, when was she dating Dean? Then as soon as it started coming out of my mouth, I was like, that was wrong.
See, the pressure changes your answer a little bit. This is what
I'm also okay. I'm gonna just claim it pregnancy brain, but it's fine.
well, it's helpful to remember that Dean and Wan are in the same movie. Ugh,
That's true.
exactly. I just threw up a little in my mouth.
A great thing just happened on episode 300. Marissa got a question wrong.
It's too bad that can't happen on the trivia against you, Joe. I might actually have a chance then.
Thank you.
Didn't I get one wrong in the last trivia? I got like the last
You
question
did.
or so wrong.
I'm sorry, but you did. Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. I didn't lose.
Yeah, but that
That's all that matters.
You didn't
on
lose. No,
Patreon.
no.
That is exclusive to Patreon. Like now the whole world knows.
It's not that big of a deal.
Not
All
as-
right, who's
I'm
ready?
gonna lose this game anyway to Lauren because she's cheating. She just watched the movies again.
Oh, stop it.
I like Lauren though, so I can concede that to her. It's okay. We'll see.
All right, who's ready for number 6? I am.
Harry, you put your name in the goblet of fire.
Alex!
His favorite character.
That is when, after Harry's name gets pulled or ejected from the Goblet of Fire in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
That is correct.
When Dumbledore assaults Harry physically.
What are you talking? He's so calm. What do you? I don't know what you're talking about.
That was
Well, that
Michael
wasn't
Gambon going for an Oscar nomination. I mean,
hate
I'm
it.
sorry, he was robbed.
He wasn't that
Kristen.
loud in that clip, and that wasn't even me lowering the volume. Just saying.
There's physical
Maybe he'd
assault,
read
and
the
I don't
books and it would
appreciate
be better.
Mhm.
All righty.
Still gonna be mad about it forever. It's fine.
We got a pretty even matchup going on. This is good. All right, here we go. Number 7.
Where have you?
Lauren.
When the Weasleys bring Harry to the Burrow for the first time, Chamber of Secrets.
That is correct.
People have been using that a lot on like Instagram reels and TikToks with like the animals.
Yep.
It's just a dog. I love it.
They're adorable. I love those reels.
I'm gonna have to start sending them to you. Oh.
Let's finish out this scene because it also has one of Marissa's
best scene ever. I'm sorry, the whole quote.
best quote.
Harry, how wonderful to see you, dear. Bed's empty, no note, car gone. You could have died. You could have been seen. Of course, I don't blame you, Harry, dear.
It was startling, Mum. There were bars on his window.
Well, you best hope I don't put bars on your window, Ronald Weasley.
I love that so much. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome. We're making dreams here.
If I can't win the game, I might as well enjoy all the quotes.
Absolutely. All right, number 8.
I confess myself disappointed. Not one of
Lauren.
It's when Voldemort came out of was reborn in Goblet of Fire.
Correct. Yes, I confess myself disappointed. That's one of my favorite lines.
I confess myself disappointed all the time. So I should have gotten that one. I confess myself disappointed in myself.
I was just like, you say that about me every time we try to record.
Yeah, pretty much. No, Joe's a great co-host.
What are we doing on today's episode?
What?
What
What are we talking about again?
What, a fan movie? I confess myself disappointed.
Every time it's a fan movie.
Alrighty, we're halfway through this. Lauren's got the lead with 4. Alex, you're in second place with 2. Marissa and Kristen, you each got 1.
I'm okay with that.
And currently,
I'm on Kristen's level. I can live with that.
number 9.
Hogwarts? It's not the place you left, you know. It's not the same.
Neither am I.
Marissa.
No, it's Harry and Luna talking. That's all I got. Sorry. Well, it's Harry and Luna talking in Deathly Hallows. It would have to be.
Which part?
Oh, part dose.
I'm gonna give that one to you.
What?
Thank you.
That's a deleted scene.
It's got to be a deleted scene.
It is a deleted scene.
It's
that
not
was
in the movie.
So mean.
Football.
That's a deleted scene.
I was like,
I thought I hadn't heard it before, but I guessed. Thanks, Joe. I guess.
It's not Harry and Luna. That would have been Neville and Luna.
No, that was Harry and Luna outside of Dobby's grave when Luna decides she's going to go back to Hogwarts. And Harry's like, no, Hogwarts.
Deleted scene. I was like, when did that happen?
It didn't happen in the books either.
It did not happen in the books either, no.
Nope. She went to stay with. Who did she go to stay?
She was at
Auntie Muriel. She went to Auntie Muriel.
Oh, did she go to Auntie Muriel's?
With Dean.
So do I get half a point for calling your bluff, Joe?
Sure. You get a half a point, sure.
It's fair enough.
There we go.
The rules don't matter and the points mean nothing.
I'll
Making
make
up the rules as we
It's
go
like the
along.
House Cup. Rules don't matter. Points mean nothing. It's fine.
Yes. It's like playing a game of Quidditch. You just win points for no reason.
The
When
number
you catch the
16 is
snitch.
going to be worth 10 points. So
Right.
it's anybody's
I
game
might-
at this point.
At the end of this thing, I might just pull a Dumbledore and declare anybody the winner.
Everybody but Marissa wins. Perfect. It's fine.
Winner.
Alrighty. Next up, number 10 here.
As inspiring as I find your bloodlust, Bellatrix, I must be.
Lauren.
It's the scene where Voldemort's sitting at the table with his Death Eaters in Deathly Hallows Part 1.
1000%.
That is correct.
Mhm.
Lauren pulling away. Uh-oh.
Sorry, hold on. People are saying that this scene does exist. Is it if
It's
you're
in-
watching the extended edition?
I
Well,
guess.
Edition.
Sorry,
and-
the Harry and Luna scene.
yeah, the extended edition adds in the deleted scenes.
Okay,
So
I didn't know. I don't have the extended editions of anything except for like Lord of the Rings. So
No. I have the extended of the first movie.
Ooh. Is that the one? So it has the Petunia getting increasingly angry at
Yes,
letters
at the-
being
Yes.
such a good part of the movie.
Yes. So good.
letters in the eggs.
And it has sassy Harry talking back to Snape in the potions lesson.
Ooh. Love me some sassy Harry, you know that.
Okay, number 11.
You wait till my father hears about this. This is servant stuff.
Kristen.
That is Draco talking to Hagrid before they go into the Forbidden Forest in the first movie. The Philosopher's Stone.
He was not talking to Hagrid, though. He was talking to Harry, but I'll still give it to you.
Close enough. It's an
Was
H
he
note.
really talking to anyone other than
He
himself?
was just talking.
Right.
To hear himself.
No one
speak.
else was listening to him.
No, of course not.
You don't think Harry had his ear to all of Draco's troubles? No, probably not. Okay. Number 12.
And now
Alex.
Is it when Voldemort kills Harry in part 2, Deathly Hallows part 2?
I'll give it to you.
It's when he's announced, isn't it? When he's announcing it
Announcing
to
Harry's dead. Yeah.
Hogwarts.
And he has that ridiculous laugh.
Yeah. The one that Joe loves to do. Yeah.
Harry Potter is dead.
Harry Potter, the boy who lived.
He just sounds out of breath all the time.
Oh my god!
Not when he says that one.
Yeah, he gets all his lung capacity into that one.
It took about 30 seconds just to breathe in real deep.
Right. He needs to do more cardio. Work on his breathing.
I know a few guys. He can meet me at 5:17 a.m.
Oh boy.
All righty. Let's go to number 13 here. Those aren't my dogs.
Not my dog either.
it's changing out there. Just like last time.
Lauren.
It's in Hagrid's hut in Order of the Phoenix.
That is correct.
Isn't it after he was telling them about going to see the Giants?
Giants, yeah.
Yep. That was it.
See, I know all of these. I'm just not quick enough.
You just don't have the quickness.
She's with the quickness. That's what I'm saying.
I'm also not carrying a child in myself, so
Also true. No, I'm not kidding. Lauren is not with child. Is what she
I'm
said.
I'm not with child.
It's
To
been
her
20
knowledge.
years since I've had. Can I claim pregnancy brain?
Yes, you can. Mom brain.
Mom
Mom
brain. Yeah.
So I'm the only one thinking clearly here. All right.
Alex has dad brain.
I don't have children, so I claim.
Oh, okay. Well, in
I
that
claim
case,
clear brain.
that's
Clear brain.
Clear
Bright
brain.
eyes.
Clear brain.
Can't lose.
Can't lose.
that's why she's in the lead right now.
Yeah, that's why.
Number 14.
Therefore, I must warn each and every one of you to give them no
Lauren?
It's when Dumbledore was talking about the Dementors in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban with the students.
Sure is.
Was it right before his
light off, light on, candle trick.
candle thing?
Yeah, it's a little magic trick. And one of
Happiness
his
can be found even in the darkest of times if one only remembers to
turn on
the
the
light.
very quotable quote, as they say.
Quotable quote.
All right. Number 15.
You just know. Once again, you astonish with your gifts, Potter. Gifts mere mortals can only dream of possessing. How grand it must be to be the chosen.
Lauren.
It's after Katie Bell's attack in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince when Harry's telling McGonagall that Draco did it.
When did you watch all these movies?
Like last week, honestly. Like they're fresh.
I don't think I've watched these since we did watch the movies.
To be honest, Half-Blood Prince is by far my favorite book, my favorite movie. So I also watched that one a couple times, like a year by itself. So
she's just cheating. It's fine. I'm so kidding.
I know you are.
I think I've only seen movies 4 through 8 literally 3 times.
To be fair, Alex, the third movie is my second favorite. So
that's my favorite one.
It's a great movie.
That's what I think. All right, we got the final one here.
This one worth 100 points, and whoever gets it wins. Kidding, obviously. I know.
I've never been to this part of the castle. At least not while awake. I sleepwalk, you see.
Lauren.
On the way to Slughorn's party in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
That is correct.
Lauren crushed it, man.
Lauren is our winner. Congratulations, Lauren.
I think
you won absolutely nothing.
Oh,
you get to be on the show.
Yay!
An hour undying admiration. That was seriously impressive.
That was really impressive.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Actually, a fun thing I like to do at Harry Potter trivia nights is when they're playing the music, guess the scene that the music was from.
So you're all in on trivias and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, good luck, Joe, if you keep going with the host trivia challenge.
Oh, I will.
Can't wait.
Can't
wait to be on the audience side of those.
Oh, I thought you were coming back to do those with me.
Oh, am I?
I'm
well, we'll see how I'm feeling. Because you want to do it because I'm going to be sleep deprived, Marissa, and then I will get all the questions wrong.
I need a win. All right. Well, that was fun. That was our game for the evening. A little something different that no one's ever done before. Haha. All right. Now we have reached the portion of this show where we're going to jump into some somewhat normal segments. We made them a little special. But up next, we have a very special edition of the Brew Review.
There will be no foolish wand waving or silly incantations in this class.
What movie is that from?
Sorcerer's Stone.
Game is over.
I will answer the question if it's asked.
Alrighty. Did I pick this potion because we all love tails? Who's to say? But yes, this is the most powerful love potion in existence, and it causes a powerful infatuation or obsession from the drinker. Now, despite its power, this potion does not create actual love. I don't think anyone had any doubts about that. But just for clarity and posterity, and for someone who may have just watched Harry Potter and knows nothing about all this back stuff, I gotta share it. I gotta say it. So this has a distinctive mother of pearl sheen. Basically, it looks like a pearl. And steam arose from it in fun little spirals. So that's cool. So a very advanced potion taught in your 6th year. And its only known ingredient is pearl dust. However, I kind of have to imagine that the person making this has to add something of theirs, similar to like a polyjuice potion. So whoever takes the potion knows subconsciously who they're falling in love with. Like, am I crazy for thinking that?
I don't think.
Well,
they're
but
crazy
how would
for that?
in the books there's the chocolate that's laced with it that Romilda Devane leaves like she just bought those. Like she didn't get, like Ron's toenails or Harry's hair or any of that, like that you would put into, well, not toenails.
Well, no, I think they're saying the person that, like, I'm giving this potion to this random guy and I want him to fall in love with me. I would put something of me in the potion so that when they drink it, they fall in love with me.
So what, I mean, Joe, what would you suggest that people put in there?
Well, you said toenails.
Just like a hair, like a polyjuice. Just so like the potion knows your DNA and who it's going to infatuate
Eyelashes
with. Yes.
Because of the winking. Yep.
Has to be a left eyelash. Very specific. The left contains more DNA than the right.
Is that like a joke from something that I'm just not getting?
Nope. It's
Oh, okay.
I'm not getting that I just said right off the top of my head.
Okay. At least I'm not missing something.
So the very special characteristic of this potion that we all know about is that its scent is multifaceted and varies based on what each person found most attractive. So I've created a new word. I'm calling this potion sentient. SCENT. IENT. It is sentient because it kind of knows. When
I confess myself disappointed.
Well played, Bob.
Where's that hockey? Dun 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 dun. Oh, that's a pretty good dad joke, I think.
It's very punny.
I thought so. So
like puns.
Hermione, we all know she smelled freshly mown grass, new parchment, and Ron's hair, which was confirmed by JK in an interview. Harry smelled the treacle tart. Sorry, Alex. Broomstick handles and something flowery he had smelled at the Burrow, which was, I guess, a scent that Ginny was wearing.
Ginny's perfume.
Mm-hmm.
So my question to all of you, what would your love potion smell like? I'm pretty sure we've done this before, but perhaps your smells have been updated.
Updated smells. I do remember what I said last time we talked about this. I said old books, well, not old books, but books, leather, and is it mint or jasmine? Some kind of florally type scent.
Gotcha.
And I would probably keep the book. I like the smell of kind of adorable. I like the smell of freshly baked chocolate chip cookies. So today was a good day for me because it's basically chocolate chip cookies. And then my husband wears cologne by Prada, and it smells super, super duper good. And so that would probably be my third scent.
Very
Oh,
good.
Marissa, we have one in common. Mine, new book or books in general. I love going to bookstores and just flipping through the books and smelling them. All the time.
You think Lauren's trying to read them, but no, she's just
No, I'm just smelling. Just smelling
She's
the
not
book.
skimming, she's smelling.
Peppermint. Peppermint is
very good.
Really, really great. And then puppy fur. I like the smell of puppy fur.
Oh, I got my puppy groomed today. And he looks so different. Lauren, I'll have to send you before and afters because he looks like he's just been shorn.
All right, Alex, what about you?
Anyway, he hates animals, so let's stop
I
talking about
know.
animals.
I'm gonna be working on him while you're gone, Marissa. I don't know how much headway I'm gonna make, but
not much.
I'll
We're
try.
shutting this
I'll do my
talk
best.
down right now.
Lauren, you kicked off. Sorry.
I have like a really terrible sense of smell, so I don't know how well this potion would work for me. But the three that I decided was apple pie and new car smell. I don't know what it is about new cars, but they just have that smell that you really like. And then the third one, I decided, this is really weird, and everyone's gonna judge me, but I like the smell of gasoline. So I think I would be one of them.
It's on my list.
And it's an expensive smell now, Alex. So.
Oh my gosh.
It's very expensive.
Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, that's like Bruno. We're not talking about that. No.
No.
Kristen.
Well, I had to pick like really like vanilla beans, not just any old like vanilla extract, but vanilla beans. And I was kind of going back and forth between like, is it leather or is it like the new car that has the leather in it? So Alex, I totally get you with the new car smell. But also, I mean, I cannot possibly omit coffee because there is just something about the smell of coffee and I mean, for me, it's all of it. It's like holding the hot cup and breathing the steam and I mean all of it. But yeah, so I think that's I get a win for that, Joe.
Absolutely, because that's also on my list. So I had gasoline, which is an awkward smell to like, but there's just something about it that I just want to keep smelling it until I pass out.
Oh my gosh.
Which has never happened, by the way. Just want to make that clear. But I would probably choose that to happen if I could. I don't know what it is. So there was that coffee, a good coffee, just ruminating through the house. Oh my God. Wonderful. And then my last thing was not really specific, but just something cinnamony baking. So not like a strong cinnamon smell, not like a cinnamon stick, but just something like maybe like
cinnamon rolls in the oven.
Right. Yeah. Something like that.
Mm-hmm. I had cinnamon on my list and then I changed it because I also had peppermint and I felt like those were conflicting. And so I was trying to imagine smelling peppermint and cinnamon at the same time. And I was like, this is conflicting. I'm not.
Well, you bring up an interesting point because do you smell all of them at once or does it kind of like cycle through the smells? Because I feel like all at once with any one of these,
It'd be very overpowering.
Right. It's just like that would just you get 3 good things, but mixed together they make one bad thing. So it's
Yeah.
almost
What is the olfactory equivalent of a cacophony of sounds? I don't know.
I don't think I want to know.
Cacophony is a great word, though.
that's above my pay grade. I don't even know what it means. But good job, Alex.
Thanks.
So how do you think this potion, I don't know, gets its sentience outside of hashtag magic? Do we have any thoughts on that? Because like not only does the potion for the one who's drinking it tells you who you're going to be obsessed with, but it also like creates these smells for you that you find the most attractive. So does anyone have any thoughts on that?
Well, I wonder if it actually has something to do with pheromones, because pheromones are supposed to be like released into the air, and they like exude from your pores. And so I'm wondering if there's something about that the potion then can sense or reacts to. I don't know, but I mean, supposedly that's how all humans and all animals really, communicate.
Is it like a sorting hat for attractive smells? It knows what you like, and then it just creates that smell in your nostrils.
So, like, if you dunk your head in it, does it talk to you? And does it ask you, like, well, like, what about is it this person or that person? Does it take your choices into consideration like the sorting hat does?
I don't think that the most powerful love potion in the world takes your choices into account.
You smell like chocolate. You smell like chocolate. You smell like chocolate.
I don't know. It's got to be something about pheromones or something, like Kristen said. I mean, hashtag science if you don't want to hashtag magic.
Well, because I was thinking what we've been reading up on these potions is it is generally kind of finished off with some kind of magical spell or whatever. So I'm wondering if maybe a similar spell that was put on the sorting hat to read like your mind and kind of not your mind but your character and place you into a specific house, so they kind of do something similar, whatever spell that was that they had used on this potion to bring about these smells that you like. So there's something I was thinking about.
Maybe.
So in the story, Albus Dumbledore informed Harry that the locked room at the Department of Mysteries is where love is studied. And at the center of the locked room is a fountain of Amortencha. And I don't remember this. So
I was definitely not in the book.
Nope,
not at all. Not even a little bit.
The door doesn't open.
Yeah, it's shut and it's sealed at all times.
It's sealed.
So how would you know what's in there?
Well, Dumbledore knows everything. So
Well, Dumbledore says it's sealed at all times. That's what he said.
We're just taking what he said as truth.
I am.
It's just our fault.
I looked at where they had a little like kind of arc by it. So I went down to like where they got the information, and it gave the chapter where Dumbledore was talking to Harry about it.
No.
I didn't go into the chapter.
No, it's wrong.
To then confirm it.
Yeah, that's wrong.
No.
Okay. So,
there is a door in the department. There is I will give you the quote. There is a door at the Department of Mysteries that remains sealed at all times. That the force inside that room is stronger than all this different stuff, and it is love and all that stuff. There's nothing about what's inside that room aside from love.
Well, I'm glad I wasn't crazy because I didn't remember it. And
you are crazy, but not for thinking that didn't exist. So
I wanted to bring it up for that particular reason. I had no idea that this was a thing. All right.
Well, but also the Department of Mysteries is studying it not because of Amortencha, which isn't love, it's obsession.
Exactly. That's why I was confused.
But they're studying love because of this ancient magic, like what protected Harry. So, I mean, I think it's cool that they're studying it. I wonder what that looks like. I mean, we get to see like the brains, we get to see the time. Like we get to see some of these other rooms that are supposedly off limits, but we don't get to see that one.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I wonder what that looks like too.
I love it. Kate says Rissa loves her quotes. Must be the Ravenclaw in her.
I like facts.
Moreau Gaunt tricked Tom Riddle Sr. into taking this potion, which is, of course, how the worst person in the world was born. Well, the fake world. Voldemort. The etymology, amor was the Roman god of love, as well as the French word amor, meaning love. And then tentia is Latin for the word held. So held in love, except it's not love. And then its first appearance was in Half-Blood Prince, which I kind of found interesting. Do you think this was like a late addition to the story? Like JK just figured like, hey, there's this kind of little folklorish type of potion thing. Let's add it to the Wizarding World and give some backstory to it.
I think she was always holding off some things like this until they got to be teenagers. You know, like they swear more later, and they, you know, this is the book with all the dating and all the snogging and the wan and the Mrs. Puttyfoot's. Oh,
yes,
good God! All of that nastiness,
all the things,
all that teenage crap.
I teach middle schoolers, by the way.
Oh, you are
all
a saint.
The teenage crap.
You are a saint.
Goodness, how do you survive life?
I live off of their drama. It's wonderful.
It feeds me.
Are you like Dumbledore from that book where he's like, I wonder about you and Hermione?
Yes. Okay, I have a funny middle school tangent. I am not a middle school teacher. I'm a college teacher, but I have done some things at the middle school level as a guest, and that I was in a middle school during the carnation sale for Valentine's Day. And on Valentine's Day, into the choir room comes this 7th grade boy, and he's like, Miss, you gotta help me. Like, I need a carnation. She's like, okay. So the choir teacher's like, all right, the carnations are $1. He's like, I don't have any money. Well, what do you want me to do? But I need to get my girlfriend a carnation. Well, it's Valentine's Day. Are you just now thinking of a present? Well, no, I got her some candy. And the teacher's like, well, give her the candy. Well, I can't. I ate it on the bus.
That is such a middle school thing to do.
Isn't that great?
Oh, no, that's amazing.
I love it. I love
Give
it.
me a carnation because I ate my girlfriend's candy on the bus.
Yes, this is my life.
That's great. That's amazing.
I will say love potions were mentioned before book 6, though. Gilderoy Lockhart mentioned them in book 2 when he had the little cupids going around for Valentine's Day, and he said, have Professor Snape brew you up a love potion. Teach you how to brew you up a love potion.
Yeah, and Snape looked at everybody like the first person to ask him for that would be force-fed poison.
That's Snape for you.
Yeah.
I can't love who I want, so
that's also
now you all
Gilderoy for you.
Probably the first appearance of the name Amortencha is probably what they're referring to from this note here. But that is everything that I have on this potion. Definitely a controversial potion. Do do you think most of the fandom, like, I always take love potions as like just a little bit of fun and not like for the seriousness of what it could actually truly mean. Do you think like that's what I guess JK was going for when she added it? I mean, obviously one person had used it for bad, so then it became like an even bigger issue. But I don't know, when I was a kid and I saw these love potions in like Looney Tunes or whatever, like I never took them like seriously, like, oh wow, you're taking away a person's choice. And I just kind of thought of it as something like fun and haha and not real.
Well, I think she shows that in book 6 because Ron takes the potion from the Weasleys' Wizard Wheezes, and it's not like, yeah, it's strengthened, but it wasn't gonna actually cause anything. But then Merope was using love potion, and it was a bad deal. So I think she showed both sides of that in that book when she was writing it.
That's good.
Well, and there's this whole thread of tying, like you mentioned, these sort of urban legends or myths, or tying pop culture, or explaining Santa Claus or whatever. Like there's all these sorts of real world things that show up randomly. But I agree with Lauren. Like the whole love potion thing is a huge plot point in book 6, talking about how Voldemort came to be. And I always wondered if the effect of the love potion is so strong, and I wondered if it actually also amplified all the negativity in Tom Riddle's Muggle father. And so like that's part of how he came into the world so angry and bitter, and all of that is because his father actually didn't have any of these feelings. And anyway, but it's a major deal. So she does have to weave it in over the course of the whole book for it to mean something when we're talking about Merope and Daddy Tom.
Daddy Tom. I love that.
I feel you on
Daddy
that.
Tom got moist with the love potion.
Oh.
Now that I'm gonna have to beep out.
Yes, you will. Sorry, it came out not how I meant it. What I meant was he drank it, but then it didn't come out sounding that way.
No, it did not. It did not come out sounding like that.
Anywho, next week we are continuing on learning about these potions, and we're going to be talking about everlasting elixirs next week. Everlasting elixirs. I guess they'll last forever.
Elixirs
Up next,
of what?
What?
Elixirs of what?
I don't know. They're just everlasting. Maybe it could be any potion, but with an everlasting
Drop.
charm or addition to it that kind of makes it last forever. I don't know.
All right.
But we'll find out next week. Next, though, we have another edition of Spelio Revelio.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be so super awesome. So we're talking about Fiend Fire, guys. Very exciting.
Oh yeah.
Super destructive. Let's do it. As we all know, the incantation is unknown for this curse. It's a curse. And it produces enchanted flames of immense size and heat and are capable of destroying nearly anything in its path. And it takes the form of gigantic fiery beasts such as serpents, chimeras, dragons, and birds of prey. And of course, it can destroy Horcruxes. But Hermione decides not to tell us that until way after the fact.
I'm still upset that she didn't bring that up until the very end.
I still don't understand why.
She could have mentioned it towards the beginning if she knew about it, but then gave her reason as to why they were not going to use it, because you couldn't control it.
Right, unless you could put it in a container. But I think that would be that it destroys nearly anything in its path. What's the one thing that it doesn't destroy is, I guess, my question.
Hogwarts.
The room of requirement is the one thing it doesn't destroy.
Now, I wonder if there's a kid that goes back to the room of requirement and goes to the place where it's hidden, or wherever that spot is, opens the door. Is it just flames that just burst out and engulf this kid?
I don't think so. I think I read somewhere that JK said eventually, like, it burned itself out and it's just an empty room now. But I don't know that for sure.
The caster died, so.
But it kept going even after he died.
Yeah, but I would imagine there'd be lingering effects, but then.
Once it ate up everything in there, it would just die.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense. But it had so much fuel, it probably burned for quite a few days before it burned
Right. Yeah, there's no more hidden things in the room of hidden things. Those are gone.
So it almost just like disappears into nothing at that point if no one ever
Which
re-enters that
is
room.
to say everything.
Exactly.
Y'all, it becomes the black box theater where they perform a Harry Potter musical.
There you
That's
go.
perfect, Kristen. You solved it. You solved the mystery.
It's my headcanon. You're welcome.
Fiend fire cannot be extinguished by normal or enchanted water. Who knew?
Unless you're Harry Potter and you're in the movie.
What?
No, he didn't extinguish it, but he was
he
able
didn't.
to block it with the water. And I always thought that was like not accurate.
No, because I think in the books it said it like evaporated on the he tried to do augmenti and it like evaporated on the spot. And they're like, "Oh, this is bad. We got to go."
Exactly. In the movie, they played it differently.
They do that sometimes.
Much to your enjoyment, I know.
I gotta talk about it. It's also very difficult to control. It's basically just like a flowing stream of flames from your wand. Like, so if you were like casting it and you flicked your wand, that's when the stream of flames is still going, but it does shoot off a flaming animal, which is pretty cool.
Do you think the animal is different depending on the caster, similar to Patronus's?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just like it could just be any of those like snakes, dragons, eagles, and all that. I don't know if it just picks one, or if you can like think of an animal and then it has that animal appear.
Yeah, because Voldemort had a snake, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see like a fiery bear chasing after somebody.
I want
Or
a
a
fiery penguin.
Dragon, like.
Yeah, dragons is one of them. I just want a penguin to be like penguin sliding towards me on fire.
Like,
Because
oh,
penguins are hilarious.
This thing's cute. This can't possibly hurt me.
You're dead. just death.
Pile of ash.
It should be not terrifying creatures. It should be super cute creatures that you're not gonna like run away from.
It's the Happy Feet ride in the Wizarding World.
Yes.
That's probably friend fire. We probably got the wrong.
Oh, friend fire! I need it now.
It's a pygmy puff. Just...
The fire is actually sentient on its own, not like the potion we just talked about, which is sentient. So it's got a mind of its own, basically.
It's all coming back together.
It's all full circle. But its only sentience is I want to burn everything. So not a lot going on there in the sentience department, but partly.
Like, oh, you're alive? Burn. Oh, you're a thing? Burn.
And especially if there is a living thing nearby, it will go after that thing. So it wants death and destruction for everybody. Which is terrible.
It's awful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know that Vincent Crabbe cast it in the Room of Requirement. And Hermione after they got, were safe and not going to die. She was like, oh yeah, by the way, it can destroy Horcruxes. I didn't mention it because it's dangerous. When has it ever stopped you from mentioning anything?
Well, and honestly, like, Hermione can do everything, so she could totally cast Fiend Fire and then make it go away. Like, she could do that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's kind of all I got on Fiend Fire from the wiki. There's a lot more, but I didn't want to read it all.
I think they nailed the visuals in the movie.
Oh yeah,
it was very well done in the movie, I think.
Because you see, I want to say maybe at least 4 or 5 different creatures chasing after Harry in the Room of Requirement, and they all look really freaking cool.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
When I think about Fiend Fire, I remember during, I think it was the second read through, we were going over it, and Josh realized for the first time that it's spelled Fyre, and he was like, "Wait, is it really spelled like the Fire Festival?" And that just sticks out in my memory for some reason. I don't know.
Oh yeah, because
it was like right after the documentary came out, I think.
Yeah, because he only listened to the audio, like them being either read to him or the audiobooks through the first read through. That's funny. Oh, Fire Festival. Oh man, that's a mess too. So don't spell fire Fyre if you're doing something with it, because it all turns out bad.
Yeah, it's gonna be terrible.
It's not gonna be fire, as the kids say. It's gonna be terrible, as the kids say.
All right, powerful stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to mess with this one.
No, I would not use this. Even if I was destroying Horcruxes, I wouldn't use this.
I may use it if I had to. As far as destroying Horcruxes, but outside of that,
you got a spare Horcrux in your basement, Joe, or what?
Trying to tell us something?
Like keep one around for a rainy day, just in case.
Oh, don't you worry about that, Kristen.
Yeah. So next week we're going to be covering Offero, which I don't know what that means, so we'll find out next week, guys.
It's offer with an O at the end.
I mean, yes, but I don't know what it means spell-wise.
Yeah. Well, look up the Latin. That's what we always do. Up next, we have another special edition of Truth or Lies. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Truth or Lies number 300, the only segment made by the community and for the community.
Number 1.
We got new numbers.
What was that?
That was
number 1.
I am shook. I don't understand what's going on in my life anymore. Okay.
We're at number 1.
Freaked out. I'm freaked out.
Hey, Marissa, you know what you're not?
Number 1.
Hey!
Oh!
That's rude.
False.
On this show, you're probably about
number 4.
Who's below me? I guess it's my question.
I won't say. No.
It's you, Joe.
It would be Joe.
Sorry.
All right, let's go back. Hang on.
Number 1.
All right, we're at it. Kingsley Shacklebolt would win in a duel against Minerva McGonagall.
Lies, 100% lies. Kingsley is amazing as an administrator. He is great at like pretending to work for the Muggles, but also being a wizard. But nobody, I mean, it took 4 Death Eaters to take down McGonagall. I think the only person who could make any headway with McGonagall is Dumbledore. So 100% lies for Shacklebolt.
Sign on Kristen. She was
so
very passionate. I agree.
I'm so conflicted. Like, I'm very conflicted here because I am a huge McGonagall, like, yes. But Kingsley was in the Auror office. He was fighting dark wizards all the time on a daily basis. Like, this was his job. He had to be good at it. And she was teaching transfiguration. Like, that's different from fighting dark wizards. I think I'm going to have to go Kingsley.
Ooh. Got our first truth from Lauren. Let's go.
It's Elias for me. I don't know. There's something about McGee. She just brings that commanding presence and power to her battling that I just don't think Kingsley could stand up to. Even though he's great. Kingsley's great. But
I am also going with lies here. I would pick McGonagall, not by much.
Lauren's on an island by herself.
I'll be by myself over here.
Shun the non-believer.
Right, but I see McGonagall very similar to like a Lally, who we saw in Secrets of Dumbledore. Just very good at, even though, you know, she is a teacher, as Lauren said, but just very good at just all different types of spells to create lots of chaos and win in very different ways. So I see McGonagall taking down Kingsley here.
Well, and don't forget, she is going to mobilize all of them statues. So you're not just going to be
Unfair
fighting McGonagall.
advantage, but you know.
I'm still waiting for a Wizarding World version of like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat or something. I'm surprised no one has come up with something like that.
one of my wish list characters for the last wave of Mortal Kombat DLC was Voldemort. I think he would fit in really well, and it's owned by Warner Brothers.
You're right.
Warner Brothers
Yes,
owns the Mortal Kombat property, so it would work. But
That would be awesome.
they did not listen to my requests.
Well, didn't they add like Freddy and Jason to?
That was in Mortal Kombat X. In Mortal Kombat 11, they had RoboCop and Terminator and Rambo, but apparently Voldemort's he's too out there, I guess.
This show has gone a whole different level of nerd today. I'm sorry, just did.
Just wait until I bring out my D&D references, then we'll really be nerdy.
I saw you on Twitter and I was like, what is this? What is this name? So I went in and I was like, gotcha.
Yep.
Flitwick was a champion dueler, Kate. However, he was not a part of the question.
You should have wrote in who would win in a duel between Flitwick and McGonagall, or Flitwick and Kingsley.
We're gonna have to add a battle segment soon.
I'm sorry, y'all. Kingsley spends every day doing dueling. Like, that's his practice. It's his job. Like,
Lauren, you lost. Just let it go.
He's guarding a minister right now. Doesn't have much to do.
Yeah, right now.
Right now.
All right, let's move on.
Number 2.
Quirrell's reveal in book 1 is the most well-done twist in the series.
Josh's reaction to it was the most well-done reaction in the history of Tales. I can tell you that much.
It's good because it's the first, but I think Fake Moody is better.
That is
You don't suspect Barty Crouch Jr. at all because you think he's dead. Like, he's not a thing. So I go with Fake Moody.
So lies then.
I also think Snape killing Dumbledore is huge.
Yeah, there are so many twists in this series. I don't think you can say the first twist is the biggest one. So I'll have to
I think Quirrell is very like Scooby-Doo. Like, when you're not supposed to think it's him because he's like, the bumbling idiot in the background, and then it is him.
He would have gotten away with it too.
Yeah, so it's like, when you read it and you're a kid, like, I didn't see that coming. But then when you read it again, you're like, okay, I guess, all the pieces were there. So like it is a good twist, but it's I would say probably Snape being a good guy all along is better.
Yeah, I'm going with Lies as well for all the reasons that were presented here. Not that it's the worst, but I think to Lauren's point, like it was the first, so it was big for us. But then because there were many more that kind of came after it, it almost like accustomed us to there being twists. So we were kind of like more on the lookout for them. So maybe they weren't as shocking to us, but they were, I guess, bigger and to the point of the question, well done. I think Snape's, I mean, this was a twist that came 7 books in the making. Like, that's kind of well done, I think. All right.
Number 3.
There is a Smokey the Bear mascot equivalent for wizard fire safety.
No. Because wizards don't care about all that
Lies.
nonsense. Lies, yeah. What?
Yeah, I don't think the Wizarding World cares about having mascots, and they're like,
They super don't.
I mean, why would you need to be prepared for a forest fire when you just have access to water at all times?
Unless it's fiend fire, but not a lot of people are going to be using that all willy-nilly.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even care about wand safety. Moody was the only one that cared about not blowing off your butt with putting your wand in your back pocket. I mean, like, they don't care about safety there.
Yeah, it's surprising you never see like any wand holsters. Like I feel like that would be a very popular accessory.
I have one. I have a wand holster.
Well, there you go.
Me too.
From the Renaissance Fair. It's wonderful.
Ooh.
I could see them having some kind of spokesperson for safety in general, but not specifically like for fires, not some kind of like Chimera dressed up and like, don't start fires, kids.
It would be a dragon. It would be a dragon talking about fire safety.
Yes.
Fireless dragon. A dragon who no longer spits fire.
Oh.
Poor dragon.
He could be Smokey the Dragon because he only has smoke instead of flame.
Sad day.
Oh, poor dragon.
Number 4.
Draco should have picked better cronies than Crabbe and Goyle.
I mean, truth, but who?
Right.
Yeah.
Slim pickings. Should have? Yeah, probably. I'll go with truth. I'll go with Alex on this one.
Well, weren't they the only other boys in his year? Because there was Pansy
Blaze.
and Millicent. Both. Is Blaze in their year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Zabini.
I don't know. I saw Millicent Bulstrode put Hermione ahead in a headlock. So,
But she was old. Wasn't
I
she?
thought
older
she
than
was
that?
a year
Yeah,
older.
she was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But also like Blaze wouldn't be bullied by Malfoy, so
It was the only one. He could only get the cronies that he could bully into being his cronies.
yes.
So if he had had the option to get better cronies, I'm sure he would have. But he was kind of like, these are the only guys that listen to me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm going Lies here too. I think Crabbe and Goyle were perfect for what Draco wanted. Just muscle, someone to push around and tell what to do, and they
muscle at age 11.
They worked well until book 6. Book 6 was when they didn't work well anymore. Because he had a bigger job to do and they weren't.
Well, they were
polyjuicing
as
into
little
little
girls.
girls.
Yeah.
That's commitment on Crabbe and Goyle's part, though.
Number 5.
Percy's betrayal was the least significant plot thread tied up in book 7.
I'm gonna say truth.
Truth?
Least significant? Yeah. Yeah, I can roll with that being the least significant. Like, I'm glad he came to his senses, but...
It was like the one last thing they had to tie up.
Oh, and by the way, he's not a terrible person all the time.
So we're all in agreement?
No, I disagree. I think Bill and Fleur getting married was less significant because I don't care about them.
Oh, wow.
Oh, boy. Glad that I'm the one going on maternity leave and not Joe. I don't know if me and Alex could get along.
I think it would be weird if Joe was going on maternity
It would be. That's what I'm saying.
I concur.
Good.
Number 6.
Sirius would make an excellent frontman for a band.
I mean, he has that rock star look, so sure, true.
Isn't he already?
Stubby.
Yup, Stubbs. Yeah. I'll go with truth. Why not?
Exactly. He's already.
I wonder if he can sing. Can he sing? Do we know this? Well, he was singing
God rest ye merry hippogriffs.
Was it any good though? That's the other. I'll still say truth.
There are a lot of lead singers of bands that can't sing. So.
Right.
Number 7.
Hagrid should not have forced Grop to come back to Hogwarts.
Truth. He kidnapped him.
Truth.
Truth. But I also don't think he should have left him with the other giants because he said he was getting bullied.
There we go, Alex. I like where your head's at.
Truth, but conditional.
Conditional truth, yes. Yeah, I was going to say lies. Does Grop have any other family there at the giant colony? Like his mother was dead, right? So
Yeah, we don't know anything about his dad because his dad was also a giant. But it said he kept trying to go back. He didn't want to be in the Forbidden Forest tied up. He wanted to go back. But Hagrid wouldn't let him.
Sometimes you can't let the little kid touch the hot stove, even if they want to.
That's how they learn.
Touch it. Go ahead, little kid.
Yeah, I'm going to say no to that. It's been a parenting advice, personally. But...
I'm not a parent.
Parenting advice from the one person that, or the one of the two people that doesn't have children.
There you go.
You know.
So no hot stoves in your classroom, Lauren.
What class?
Oh,
darn. What subject do you teach, or is it just like all of them?
I'm a math instructional coach, so I do math.
I hate math. Sorry, but I do math.
The Ravenclaw hates math?
Yeah.
What?
I also hate math.
Hey!
Wow, we've learned something new about Ravenclaws.
We're more into creativity, and math is a very structured.
Logic.
Get out of here with your logic.
Number 8.
Fred and George should not be selling love potions at their store.
They're not anymore.
Truth.
They pulled him after the incident, so truth.
Oh, I
They
thought you
shouldn't
were
have
going
been
to say
doing it in the
because
first place.
Fred's dead, but...
Oh!
Oh, ow.
Ouch!
Oh, that's a
right in the gut.
That was great.
Whew.
So we're saying George
Well,
and Ron.
Let's also just be real honest that there were several things on their shelves like Peruvian darkness powder and all kinds of stuff that they really shouldn't have been able to get their hands on, much less sell.
Right. And they were using like illegal ingredients in their skiving snack boxes or, protected items. So they were doing a lot of illegal things there.
When Mundungus Fletcher is your business partner, you need to sort of question your life goals.
Yeah.
True story.
They did what they had to do to be successful in.
They never needed to sell love potions to teenagers. That was never a good idea.
I was talking about the Mundungus thing, not the love potion thing.
Okay.
He's on your side with the love potions.
Let's be clear. Yes, I'm truth on that one. All right, final one here.
Number 9.
Tales from Godric's Hollow will have a live meetup for episode 500.
Who's to say?
Well, we can, because
if me and you are still here for episode 500 and 2.
Oh God.
And
Let me
2.
answer this very directly. It's gonna be a no. No,
It's gonna be a no.
I'm going to go with lies, and I'm going to say it's going to be for 400.
Oh,
okay. Because 500 would be in like 4 years. Because it's like 50-ish a year.
Mm-hmm.
Right. There's always a few that we end up missing.
Yes, because Joe goes to Texas and then can't get back.
He has friends in Texas that he never reached out to.
Ooh.
I was not about to drive to Dallas.
Oh, I told you I was going to be in Texas.
Yeah, the drive to Dallas, though, from Houston is, like Alex said, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it was just not going to work.
No.
That's why I put the kibosh on it before I even started to plan it.
I'm not going to say truth or lies to that because I don't know.
I would like to do
I don't know if I'll still even be on the show for episode 500. So who knows?
Don't speak that negativity.
I'm speaking truth, not negativity. If you see it as negative, that's a you problem, not a me problem.
Okay. Well, I would like to do a live meetup at some point. I guess we just need the community to grow a little bit and find a good spot for us all to meet that's convenient.
I mean, how many people counts as a meetup? Isn't when you and Matt and Brent went to the Wizarding World, does that not count as a live meetup?
It does, because everyone was invited, but just, 3 of us showed up. So.
Here's the thing. 2 of the new co-hosts are in Houston, so just come to Houston. We can do a live meetup.
We could actually do a live show all together in the same spot.
There you go.
What?
Wow.
I actually have to come to Houston for a conference in January.
All right, so
all right, Houston in January.
January 2023. We're all going to Houston.
Yeah, dinner at Nane Fuzz and then the show.
Tales Con with all your favorite Wizarding World podcasters. Oh boy, we're almost done here. We got one last thing to go. Marissa, Alex, Lauren, Kristen, do you know what time it is?
Oh, I know what time it is.
Oh, it's time for some emails. They're all moving.
Oh, it's more fun when more people are there to dance.
Yes,
instead of just me and Joe just busting moves.
I've been looking forward to Dance Party, to be honest. It's been
Each
fun.
week on Patreon, we do that. And
that's the only reason you need to be on Patreon, to be honest.
Yeah, only a select few have the opportunity to actually see that go down. This is why, yes, you have to get on Patreon, patreon.com/Tales from Godric's Hollow.
Do it. All right. First email we have is from Jackie.
Hey, Jackie.
Hey, Tales crew, it's Jackie, which we just said. So good. Congrats on 300 episodes. I've absolutely loved your guys' banter. Keep up the great work. For Harry's father figures, I agree with Marissa. I don't think Dumbledore was a father figure to Harry.
Oh, okay.
I would put Arthur first, then Remus. I would love to see a series about the Hogwarts founders since there's not much info about them. When it comes to fanfics, I love reading ones where Harry sees the Dursleys again when he's an adult, where he actually becomes close with Dudley. I've read a few like short ones where Dudley has like a magical kid and him and Harry bond over that, but that would never happen, so sad day. And other ones I love are where Remus and Sirius come and rescue Harry from the Dursleys. When it comes to the different schools, we know there are 11 major schools: Hogwarts in Scotland, Beauxbaton Academy of Magic in France,
Castelabruju.
there you go, Central Brazil, Durmstrang Institute in Northern Europe, Ilvermorny in Eastern North America,
Mahuta Coral.
School of Magic in Japan. He's helped me out.
Wagadoo.
School of Magic in Uganda. Help me with the Russian one.
Goldovstorets.
There you go. He's even doing the accents.
I know.
Where do you think the other 3 schools are?
Canada.
I've always thought there had to be one in Australia.
That's what I've always thought too.
Like, what else is there?
I would think there would have to be one in India too. Because there's a lot of there's a lot of people in the subcontinent of India.
True.
So India, Australia, and you said Canada?
Canada, yeah.
Oh, I always assumed the
click
Canadian.
Latin America.
Latin America would be a good one, yeah.
Yeah, they need another one down there too.
I always assumed the Canadians came to Ilvermorny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to vote for like somewhere else in the Middle East, like Baghdad or something like that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Could see one in Egypt.
Honestly, there needs to be more schools than 11 that she announced.
It's just the 11 major schools. There's minor schools.
There are minor schools.
And there are homeschooled wizards and witches. But that was all. Thanks, Jackie.
Thank you, Jackie. Up next, we have an email from Dane.
Hey, Dane.
Howdy, y'all. Notes from last episode. My favorite piece of official merch is the snitch I won in the giveaway many moons ago. My favorite unofficial piece of merch is the plastic wand my mom bought me for my Draco Malfoy costume as an elementary schooler. Yes, I was Draco Malfoy, but only because of my blonde hair.
Oh, sad day.
A big bag of keys? That sounds like a hazard to one's hands. I always thought of it as a big magic key ring that would give you the key you need to unlock or lock whatever door that you need. A skeleton key is a real thing that can open any door. I feel like that would be a security risk to give to Hagrid, though. I
Shouldn't
don't
have
know.
given you that.
I can see Hagrid maybe in a poker game. He runs out of money and he needs some kind of like collateral, and like, let's add the key. And then
that does sound like Hagrid.
Like, shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that. Do y'all know about the misprint in book 4? I find it interesting that JKR put such an emphasis on James in the first printing, but then flipped it to Lily afterwards. I think he's talking about during the Priori Incantatem.
Yes. She wrote it that James came out of the wand first instead of Lily.
But it should have been the opposite. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
An oversight. I don't think it's a big deal. I'm sure there's more too that we haven't found. Though book 5 definitely feels like a flip where he goes from idolizing his dad to further idolizing his mom. Well, book 5 is when I feel like they're on their way home for the finale. So that makes sense because the mom is at the end of the day more important than James. I think Zeno is definitely a great view of a father, especially being a single parent, which feels like an impossible task in and of itself. That is also able to raise an amazing child who is completely content to be herself. Agreed. Y'all took this in a much more restrictive way than I did. When I think of father figures, I think of any male authority figure that had an effect on someone. So teachers, coaches, parents, obviously, etc. Yeah, very restrictive. Not everyone could be a father figure. Oh, no. So I stand by that people like Snape, Slughorn, and even Lockhart act as father figures. No. Disagree. Big time lies.
Big lies.
We value your opinion, but reject it on principle. And
Yeah, we do.
Tagline.
Yes.
For sure. Thoughts on this week? As I think back to when I started listening to this podcast, I believe The Muggle was starting book 7. I believe I fully caught up and started emailing in at the end of the Dean, Muggle, and Boss read through of book 3. Y'all have seen me through the last years of college, through the first years of married life. Wow. Back in the Muggle and Professor days, I could listen on 2 times speed and still be fine. I haven't tried with the Dean and Boss, but I imagine it wouldn't go as smoothly.
No, we talk way, way faster than Matt and Josh did.
But I think it's still kind of slow. I find 1.5 speed is the best.
I've tried 2x and it was not. I had to slow it back down.
Mm-hmm.
It gave you anxiety?
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
You want to be able to digest our words.
Yes. I was trying to save time one time, and then I was like, no. I got to re-listen to this whole episode. So I ended up not saving time at all.
You lost time, actually.
I lost time.
It's weird to think I may have heard more hours of y'all's voices than my own immediate family.
Oh, sad. I'm so sorry.
I mean, 786 hours worth? I mean, you might be onto something.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any other piece of media, let alone podcasts, that 2 fans of the original show took over and kept the show going at a high level for multiple years after the hosts had left? That is an incredible achievement. Oh, thank you.
Oh, so nice.
I hadn't thought of it that way. But you're right. We're the only ones. Winner!
I don't know if I don't know of any, but I also don't listen to a ton of podcasts. So
I know what we did
it
here.
might be an anomaly, if I can speak.
Definitely unique what we have done. And as Newt said, I would do it again. If you asked me.
I wouldn't do it on my own, but if you asked me to, I would.
All right. Atari Alex questions. All right, Alex.
Uh-oh. You're up.
Favorite sports movie you watched recently?
I think I'm still gonna say Draft Day. I don't know what it was about that movie, but it's just like really stuck with me. I really enjoyed it. I still think about how much I enjoyed it, and everyone should watch it. It's great.
It's become this like cult classic of a movie.
Every year before the NFL draft, my husband and I watch it. It's like our NFL draft movie.
Warms my heart.
I am sad to say that I've still not seen that movie. And I feel like that's heresy, especially in Northeast Ohio. My bad.
You should continue to be sad about that.
I will give a shout out
just
though.
watch the movie.
I mean, that's also an option. I could just watch the movie. I hadn't. Sidebar. I hadn't seen the original Top Gun, and then my husband was like, "I want to go see the new one," so I had to watch it. Found it for free on Amazon Prime Video. Sorry, I'm sure everyone loves Top Gun. They revere it. It's not a great movie.
It's fine.
It's fine.
I don't know why.
It doesn't.
The new one's really good. I liked.
Oh
the new
yes,
one.
you went.
The new one is
so
amazing.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it's so good. Go see it.
Anyway, go ahead.
You aren't the only one with that opinion, Marissa. I've heard people say that Top Gun is okay.
I've just heard people revere it for so long before I saw it, and then I saw it, and I think I was expecting more, and then it was like, oh.
Well, I'm sure for the 80s, it was probably like great, but
you go back and watch it, you're like, no.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't see it when you were in 7th grade. I'm just saying it makes a big difference.
Hey, I will say the new one is amazing. It's so good.
Truth.
Alex, favorite Harry Potter video game?
Definitely Prisoner of Azkaban for the PC. Although I played the Chamber of Secrets PC game more. And also I had this really weird glitch with the third one that it just crashed my computer sometimes. Every time I would play through the game, like there was just multiple spots where it just crashed the computer, and I would reload it and it would be fine and I could get through the game, but it just, and my computer in that game did not get along.
Do you still feel Atlantis is the best Disney movie?
Okay, no, I don't know why that people think that. I was on Treasure Planet. Treasure Planet is my favorite Disney movie. It's my 4th favorite movie of all time. And I don't know why people think it's Atlantis. Josh has the same opinion, or has the same mistaken belief, even though he was on the podcast with me for Treasure Planet.
He heard what he wanted to hear. I know how that goes.
It wasn't a lie. It was a misreporting.
I think so. Although Atlantis is great. I love that movie too.
Favorite Fantastic Beast movie?
The first one.
And lastly, does chili have beans or no?
I will eat chili either way. I'm fine with beans in my chili. I'm fine without it. It does not bother me one way or another. So I guess by default that means yes, because if I were to say that to someone who doesn't have that belief, then, we're about to throw down. But I think it's not as big of an issue as people make it out to be.
I feel like I was told from something that chili isn't supposed to have beans in it.
Unless you're from Texas. It has beans in Texas.
Well.
Okay. We put beans in it, and it's delicious.
Oh, I've had chili with beans in it, but I was just told that it's not necessarily supposed to have that.
See, in my school, we used to have a chili cook-off, and one of the rules was no beans.
Mm.
So I am not sure.
Because it adds so much flavor.
I guess. Well, when we had a team, what we would do is we wouldn't put beans in it, but we put the bean juice.
There you go. That would make a big difference, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you can, lose if you must, but always cheat. All right. We've spoken about chili. Great. Potion.
It's going to be the next big food debate on Tales.
Beans or no beans.
Yeah.
Big yikes around this as a concept, though it doesn't state if the scent of it changes, because I feel like it should, right? Just like the Patronus can change. I guess if your attraction to other things change, yeah. I could see that happening. Headcanon is reality sometimes. Spell, Fiend Fire. I am still upset with Hermione that she didn't mention this as an option for the Horcrux hunt. She is smart enough to manage it. If you could choose, what creatures would you want it to turn into? I'd like to see a bear. I said that before.
We talked about cute creatures.
Yes.
French fire, remember?
Probably like a wolf for me. I think that would be very intimidating.
That would be good.
That'd be cool. I feel like hounds fit. Though I think a bunch of flying horses would be so cool as well.
But also, people have different ideas about what is scary. So, like, someone could be afraid of bunnies. And a flaming bunny would be terrifying.
Or flaming spiders. Let's go.
You've been watching
Kristen knows
Buffy
exactly
again.
what I'm referring to. I've been listening to my old
I
episodes.
do.
Fiend fire is like a boggart, and it just takes the form of your most feared animals.
Oh, that's scary.
They're the headcanon you didn't need to know.
Now we know.
All right, happy 300. Thank you, Dane.
Thanks, Dean. Next email is from Appy.
Hey, Appy.
Hi, Tales crew and special guest. Well, only Alex is mentioned. Oops.
Wow.
I announced Lauren and Kristen on social media only.
Wow.
So
wow.
That was.
That was Joe's fault, basically. That's what he's saying. Anyway.
Yeah.
Congratulations on 300 episodes, Joe, Marissa, Josh, and Matt. This is an incredible milestone, and thank you for this fantastic community. Tales means a lot to me. It started out as entertainment when I started listening to Josh react to the books for the first time. I stayed to hear from fellow community members who have now become co-hosts. Then the community became my special place to indulge in my love for the books and the world that has been created. I try to email in as much as possible. I know I've missed a few. Because you read them and it makes it a... You read them and it makes a conversation which makes me feel heard. So I am as ecstatic that you have reached the 300 mark. I can't wait to celebrate 500.
Put my bike down too soon. Cough.
All that chili.
I will try to join the live show, but I'm not sure. It is the middle of the night here. Not sure if Appy ever made it in.
Well, it's middle of the night for us now, too. So
yeah. I need to go to bed soon. I gotta be up in like 5 hours to go to work. We'll be at my desk at home and working. Anyway, Alex, I am looking forward to finally hearing you on the podcast. Can I ask what Atari means?
An Atari is a video game system from like the late 80s, I think. Like the first one. I think there's a few. I'm a big fan of
Early
video games.
80s.
Oh, okay. There you go. Before my time was the point. I'm a big fan of video games. You can see my Zelda memorabilia in the background here. So I just picked Atari because it is alliterative with Alex. And I've never
He
played
didn't
a
pick
single
Genesis. Alex didn't have the same ring to it.
I've never played an Atari.
sad fact, but fun fact.
There you go.
Yeah.
Your weekly New York City weather updates are greatly missed. Josh, if you were here or not, we think of you frequently when listening to the show. Matt, I called you the godfather of the Tales from Godric's Hollow community at the 150th episode and shouldn't break tradition. So thank you for starting this and keeping your cool when Josh said something crazy. That's good. And shout out to all the special guests and Adrian for all the fun episodes. Amortencha. Joe, did you schedule this potion for the episode when the community is talking about their love for the show?
Yes.
That is truth. Because I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago. He goes, we should change what we were going to do for Brew Review and Spellio Revelio for more fun stuff. So
well, I don't want to cover some like random potion that did whatever. Like,
you want to talk about Off-Pharaoh, whatever that is?
We're having a big show. Let's, make sure for the potion and the spell we have like some nice ones. Sure. We have that power.
We can do whatever we want. We're actually in charge of the show.
I don't know if we can do that.
This is a dangerous potion, in my opinion. So easy to feed to someone and get robbed of free will. At least with spells, you get some warning and can defend yourself. It's easy to slip a potion into anything. I would smell aftershave, the smell of soil as the first rain hits, and sea breeze.
Oh, sea breeze. That's a good one.
That is a good one.
I love
both
the ocean.
sea breeze and that kind of rain soil. Like those are both water and weather.
Water.
Those beautiful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fiendfire, if it's so uncontrollable, what is the point of knowing it if it can destroy the caster as well?
Why I won't do it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. It's not. It's not
like
a great
a
spell.
last ditch effort to take somebody out, I guess.
Yeah, if you're gonna go down, you might as well take someone else down with you.
I mean, Voldemort's able to do it without it affecting him. So there's a way to stop it. It's just not easy.
Not well known. Or easy, yeah.
You got to be skilled. You got to be confident in what you're doing.
You gotta laugh at the flames. Mhm. Looking forward to the episode and hope you have fun too. Thanks, Appy.
They ridiculous and turn the flames into a clown.
Terrifying.
Our next email comes in from Ellen. Winner of giveaways today. Dear Joe and Marissa, a heartfelt congratulations to you both and to episode 300. This is a really huge achievement. As a finally caught up member of this community for the last 2.5 years, I'd like to extend a heartfelt and sincere thank you for the laughter, fun, facts, occasional arguments, and insight you both bring to this show and to our collective little corner of the Wizarding world. So it started out as Matt's attempt to get his hesitant friend to read the series, blown up to be a haven and escape for so many others. Who'd have thunk it? Not I. Although I don't write in very often, this may be my third time, I listen always, and it is my pleasure to contribute in a small way to your ongoing success. This is such a caring and cohesive community that it's not a stretch to say that I feel like I know you all and that I'm very interested and excited to see what lies ahead. There is somewhat of a Wizarding World pause as we are past the new movie news and only speculative about the possibility of future films, so you'll have a challenging task of coming up with themes and content, but we all know you're up to it. Hey, through a joint effort of hosts, past and present, we got the 300 episodes. So the next 300 should be a snap. LOL.
No problem.
Yeah, it only took us 6 years, Ellen, but you know, we made it. Well, it's 4 for me. I especially hope that in the future we can get a Tales group together in real life, either at the parks or anywhere really. It would be a blast.
Or Houston, Texas.
Or Houston.
Houston, January 23, y'all. First week of January. Mark it.
You heard it here first.
We're doing it for real.
I guess we're doing it. Ellen, I might be in Orlando at the end of July, possibly for LeakyCon. So there's potential to have a meetup if people are in Florida for LeakyCon. Something we'll discuss. I recently attended an Orlando Informer event, and I have to say, walking down a completely empty Diagon Alley was astounding. I finally got an interactive wand, floors, purely because I like how it looks, which I hadn't done previously because I didn't think a grown-up crazy lady pushing little kids out of the way, so she chose to do spells with a good visual. But both nights I had the opportunity to leisurely stroll and try every wand stop. No waiting. So much fun. We're doing it again in December, and I can't wait. I'll close because I know this is long, and tonight the email segment will be epic. Well, fingers crossed here. But again, thanking all of you for your time, effort, energy, and love that was put into these episodes. So Matt, Josh, Joe, Marissa, and Brent, well done. And so many hugs. Aw. Hug right back. Special shout out to Marissa. Less than 2 months until you join the best community, International Confederation of Mommies.
Oh, thanks, Ellen. Very exciting. Okay. Next email is from Denise.
What's up, Denise?
Congratulations, Tales crew. What a huge accomplishment. It's been so cool to listen over the years. I started listening in the very beginning when I was pregnant with my first child. That kid is now 5 years old and starting kindergarten in August.
Wow.
How crazy is that? Anyway, thanks for all you do, Joe and Marissa, and thank you for all that you did, Matt and Josh. Here's to 300 more.
Oh, people actually want 300 more of this? My God. Everyone keeps saying it.
No. But thank
Right.
you, Denise.
Our next email from the OG headmistress, Mel B.
Yeah.
All the way from down under.
Mel B.
Kristen's co-host of Podmoot. Check that out. Hello. I think it would be remiss of me not to email in on such a momentous occasion. 300 episodes of Tales from Godric's Hollow and how much has changed since the early days. The podcast has really transformed and changed over time. Joe and Marissa, you have done an amazing job taking the torch and transforming the podcast, keeping the community and moving on in a format to keep Tales relevant and beloved. You both, as well as Josh and Matt, should be so proud of everything that Tales has achieved over the years. I am so grateful to have met all of you amazing people through this podcast. For me, Tales has truly been life-changing, as you both well know, with international visits.
Mm-hmm.
Here's to another 300 episodes and maybe some more visits. Mel B. Thanks, Mel.
Yeah, me and Mel B met through being headmistresses of this podcast in the earlier days, and then I went over to Australia and stayed with her for 2 weeks. Then she came over here and went to some meetup with another Lord of the Rings podcast, and then came here and hung out with me and I think we were just dating at the time, me and my now husband. She went on family vacation with us. It was pretty crazy. Love Mel B. All right. Next email is from Brent,
Our final email.
who kept saying in the chat that Ravenclaws don't exist. So that's cool times. So we're not going to read your email. I'm kidding. We're going to read your email. All right. Hey, friends. I'm sorry I couldn't be there with you all to celebrate your 300th episode. Or rather, I almost feel like I should say our 300th episode. I don't mean for me personally, but for us as a whole, the entire Tales from Godric's Hollow community. This is a show that is bigger than any one individual and bigger than just a podcast in and of itself. It's a word we use so often around here, a community. The uniqueness of this show, being the involved community around this show, and your commitment as host to keeping that alive makes this the most remarkable show I've ever had the privilege of being a part of. Just saying something, because Brent's something of a podcaster extraordinaire. So,
right.
Pretty cool. And truly one of the more remarkable shows in the podcasting world at large. Whoa.
Now you're just puffing up my head. Come on.
Oh, he's just being so nice. Something's going on.
He wants
something.
He wants another show on Patreon.
Yeah, pretty much. On a personal level, some of my best friends today have come from this show, and it is a special privilege serving as head boy. Thank you both for letting me play along with you all. Congrats to 300. Here's to 300 more. And as always, your most faithful and humble resident Slytherin. Thanks, Brent.
Thank you, Brent. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this 300th episode celebration. Brent put it perfectly. You guys are a major part of why this is still happening.
Mm-hmm.
And we know this person. We used to be in your position, just listening to a podcast, enjoying what was being talked about. And we have now taken those torches from Josh and Matt and kicked them to the side and forging our own path. Everyone that has been a part of it, gosh, so many to list, so I won't, but thank you everyone who has ever listened to this show. If you've hosted the show, those of you, Brent, I've had many conversations about editing this show with you, and Matt for helping me with the website when I had no idea what the hell I was doing when I first took over. So many behind the scenes things that have happened. that has been able to push this show forward. And I'm glad we're finally hitting a rhythm here. So again, thank you, community.
Right before I leave, hitting the rhythm.
For you. Yeah. Just when we're going strong, Marissa has to bail on us.
I have to go and have a baby. A couple of people asked earlier in the show if for me to show my bump, so I am going to do that right now. That doesn't translate well to, the podcast, just the audio, but they did ask, so I'm going to stand up real quick here.
We'll do some live commentary of the bump.
There's not much to say, I don't think.
Here we go. Wow, it's a bump.
Wow.
If I'm going to describe this bump to you, it's as if there's a basketball in her stomach.
It is very
almost
nice.
As if she's pregnant.
It's almost as if that.
Well, it's like if you were on Patreon watching us do the shows over the past couple of months, like because of where the camera is showing, like you would never be able to tell that you were pregnant.
No, because it's on my face. Unless you can tell I'm gained weight in my face. I don't know.
Now I've looked at your face every week for the past 4 years, so I'm gonna go with a no.
Oh, good, thank you.
That wasn't a creepy thing. I podcast with you, right?
What? No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I stand through your windows at the eve.
I just feel, and everyone tells me I'm not, but I feel huge every day, and every day I feel more huge. But that's
did
good
you
because
get
that
taller?
means he's. What?
Did you get taller?
I hate you, Alex. No, I just feel gigantic. It's like a gigantic stomach. I feel like roly-poly is what I tell my husband all the time. But
well, you won't.
That means he's growing and he's doing good, and he kicks me all the time, and it's great.
Love is pain.
That's what they say.
Says
who they are.
men in the chat. Like, really? Come on.
Interesting.
Well, that's our show. We've
Moving on to the fact that we're done with this episode.
we've seemed to cram about an hour of entertainment into about a 2.5 hour show.
Good times.
Co-host and new co-host to be. Thank you all so much for coming on with us. Lauren, would you like to tell the people where they can find you if they want to follow you and start to get to know you?
Sure. So I have a couple different options because on Twitter, I have 2 Twitter accounts, but my personal Twitter is @Maeve_cleric. So that would be the one to go to. The other one is professional. You don't want that. And then on Instagram, I'm @LaurenAragon12.
Very good. Alex, it's been fun to finally have you on this show. A long time coming. Would you like to tell the people where they can find you?
Yes, thank you for having me. I had a great time. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Atari Alex. I'm not super active on either of them at the moment, but if you tweet at me, I'll definitely reply. And I will give a special shout out. We're nearing the 1-year anniversary of the final part of my 10-part series of my 100 favorite movies of all time. I've talked about it a lot of times, and I feel annoying sometimes, but honestly, I'm very proud of it. I put a lot of work into it, so I just want as many people as possible to read it. So if you're wondering why Treasure Planet is my 4th favorite movie of all time, you can find out by reading the list.
There you go.
Oh, and it's my pinned tweet, so you just go there and the link's there.
Find it at Atari Alex on Twitter. Yeah. And Kristen, always a pleasure to talk to you and have you on. It's been so much fun. Would you like to tell the people where they can find you at if they want to follow you?
Sure. If you want to follow my opera adventures, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Kristen Conducts, or you can catch Mel B and me as we are working our way through the works of J.R.R. Tolkien at podmoot.com. And we are currently finishing up the Fellowship of the Ring. Probably the end of the summer, we'll be finishing up the Fellowship. So hope we can see all y'all there.
Awesome. Boss, we did it. We made it through.
We did it.
It's now we were at 786. We're approximately at 789-ish right now, hours of tales. To keep
Yes.
it going.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell the people where they can find you?
Sure. The people can hit me up on Twitter or Instagram at Rissaru312. There's also episodes of me with Mel B doing watching Buffy over to mmpodcastnetwork.com. Still don't know if me and Mel are going to finish Angel, but tune in and see, maybe we will.
Very good. As for me, you can find me personally on Instagram or the Twitter at Custom Vinyl Lush. If you'd like to follow the show, you can do so by going to talesfromgodric's.hollow.com. You can find us on Facebook or Instagram at Tales from Godric's Hollow. You can follow us on Twitter at Tales from GH. You can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Tales from Godric's Hollow. You can follow us on Podchaser at podchaser.com/TFGH. And with any and all of your emails, you can always send them on over to talesfromgodric'shollow@gmail.com. That wraps up this celebration episode of the 300th episode of Tales from Godric's Hollow. Next week, we are jumping back into major moments of Book 3, and we're going to be talking about a very important discussion that Molly and Arthur Weasley had. Oh, yeah. We'll be talking Everlasting Elixirs in the Brew Review. We have Offero in Spelio Revelio, and don't forget to send in any truth or lies questions you may have. As always, we hope you all find some magic in the week ahead, and until next time, and for the past 6 years now coming up, we're sorry, or you're welcome. So long, everybody.
Bye, y'all.